Week 3 of the college football season brings us to Montgomery, Alabama. Georgia transfer Isaiah Crowell tries to lead Alabama State over one of the nation's top defenses in Arkansas Pine-Bluff. It's Thursday Night Football on ESPNU, and it starts right now. Welcome to ESPNU College Football Primetime, presented by McDonald's. Live at the Crampton Bowl in downtown Montgomery, Alabama. It's a SWAC matchup between a couple of conference contenders as Alabama State takes on Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Welcome into the broadcast booth alongside former NFL quarterback Jay Walker, Joe Davis on hand. These are two teams that last season just missed out on playing in the SWAC Championship game, but off to good starts this season. That's the goal again, to get back there. Both these teams 2-1. This is a big game early on this season.
And because both teams failed to make it to the SWAC Championship game, this game has the utmost importance. They've got to win this game for both teams. If you're Alabama State, head coach Reggie Barlow's team got off to a fantastic start last season, faltered towards the end of the year. And for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, head coach Monty Coleman feels like he's got his best team he's ever had at Arkansas Pine-Bluff. For
this offense for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they've got a redshirt freshman at quarterback who's really well respected around the league already, Ben Anderson.
Ben Anderson has given defensive coordinators around the SWAC conference fits. This is the most balanced offense in the SWAC. 166 yards per game passing, 167 per game running the football. They've got that balance that keeps you guessing all the time. He's a phenomenal talent. The quarterback position at Pine Bluff is in good hands with Ben Anderson.
Well, Jay, we know all about Isaiah Crowell, the Georgia transfer running back for Alabama State, and we'll talk plenty about him, but there's a star on the other side of the ball as well for Alabama State, the active leader in interceptions at the FCS level, Kewan Riley.
Kewan Riley is a star. He's a great talent with tremendous range at the free safety position. He's a guy that simply knows how to go get the ball. Whenever the Hornet defense needs to make a big play, he's normally the guy on the other end making it happen for the Hornet defensive squad.
There's Monty Coleman, head coach for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. His team won the toss. They've elected to receive, and away we go from Montgomery. This will be returned by Andre Mitchell, the true freshman, who's got some space. Yeah, with a flag down, Mitchell brings it back to the 38-yard line. Return of 31 yards, but we'll await the ruling on this flag. Roderick Holloway, our head referee today.
During the return, holding number 40 on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Pine Bluff.
And right away, Jay, we see something that's plagued this team. 13 penalties per game for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Only 2 teams in the country penalize more.
Yeah, that's something they're going to have to get under control as the season goes on. Considering a guy like Monty Coleman, such a disciplinarian, former player, played in the NFL for a number of years, you don't expect that. That's one thing that he says. The difference between pro football and college football is having guys learn how to play within the rules. They have not got a grip to that yet.
Well, here is Ben Anderson, redshirt sophomore out of Little Rock, Arkansas, second in the SWAC in passing through 3 games, and is really turning into a good manager of this offense. Takes the jet sweep and throws the wide receiver screen to Ladarius Eckwood for a first down run across the 35. 15 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Golden Lions. Brandon Roberts with a stop.
A good execution here on this wide receiver screen here. And look at number 7. Take a look at him. That's Terran Armstead. When you've got a left tackle with his type of ability, running those wide receiver bubble screens, that's a focal point of your offense.
2 plays and 2 throws. This one batted down by Draquay Everett. And it's second down and 10. Well, you mentioned Terran Armstead, the left tackle for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He's our impact player.
I mean, 6'6", 300 pounds, 4-year starter. But what you don't see there is the fact that he runs the 40-yard dash in 4.7 seconds. He's a freak of nature. NFL scouts are drooling at his upside potential.
First run play of the day, Justin Billings with a gaping hole behind Armstead and Savage for 12 yards and a first down to the 48. Kewan Riley with a stop.
And that's what we talked about, the balance that Arkansas Pine-Bluff's had. You're expecting a wide receiver screen because of formation, but they've got the ability to give the ball to Billings and to run the ball and pound the ball up the middle of the field because of their offensive line play.
This balanced spread attack, they're second in the SWAC in running the football. Anderson with a confident throw in and out of the hands of Eckwood, and it's 2nd and 10. On the other side of the ball, Saeed Lee, the corner, our impact player.
And Lee's a guy, 5'11", 175 pounds, but he's just a gutsy player. Doesn't have all the physical attributes you like to have in a cornerback, but he's a guy that's simply a great football player and knows how to make big plays when called upon.
Senior on this defense, preseason all-SWAC selection. On 2nd down and 10, draw play for Dennis Jenkins, who's stacked up and knocked down. DeAndre Rashada and Brandon Slater with a stop to set up 3rd and long. The defense here for Alabama State, one of the top defenses in the country last year, came into this season returning 7 starters, high expectations, but they've gone off to a slow start. 7th in the SWAC, giving up more than 380 yards of contest. On 3rd and 12, he sails the throw, and it's 4th down. Went for Wesley Hawthorne. And the punt team out of the field for the Golden Lions.
And that's something there that Pine-Bluff does a little bit different than every other school. You've got Anderson in the shotgun, lining up 6 yards deep already. Then he drops back another 5 yards. So the receiver's running a 15-yard route. That throw was really a 35-yard throw across the field. That time there, when you really got to step into it, the ball sailed on him, went high and incomplete.
Looks like old Steve McNair.
Yes.
Aaron Godwin punts it away to Kewan Riley from the 16. Got a bit of the seam and took it to the 27. On a return of 11 yards, Patrick Ray with a stop. Amani Coleman, head coach for Arkansas Pine-Bluff in his 5th season, took over prior to the 2008 season after 5 years as an assistant in the program. And Reggie Barlow on the other sideline took over his alma mater in 2007. He's in his 6th season as head coach.
I think when you talk about Reggie Barlow, it becomes, look what he's done the past 2 seasons. Got off to a little shaky start at his alma mater, but weathered the storm, and now I think the Hornet fans and faithful are glad that they kept him around, and now he's got Alabama State in contention for SWAC championship year in and year out.
17 and 9 over the last 2+ That's for Isaiah Crowell, who can't hold on to the throw from Greg Jenkins. The reigning SEC Freshman of the Year, and a big story in the SWAC this season, his transfer. When you're talking about the progression under Reggie Barlow, and really for both of these programs since these head coaches took over, 12 and 21 in his first 3 seasons was Barlow, 17 and 9 since then. On 2nd and 10, they fake the dive and throw it into the flats for Cornelius Fenderson. A first down to the 41 and a pickup of 14.
This is a new play you're starting to see in college football. It's the option, fake the run, and the quarterback's got an option, either throw the curl or give the ball to in the flat for the wide receiver flaring out on the bubble screen there. Really puts a lot of pressure on the perimeter of the defense.
Crowell out to the 46. Bill Ross made the stop, and Crowell coming off his season-high 98 yards with a touchdown. He's our impact player on offense for Alabama State.
You know, we know about the talent he has in Isaiah Crowell, but I think the key is he and offensive coordinator Fred Kice are starting to learn what each other likes to do. Kice wants him to run a little bit hard in between the tackles. He likes to bounce it outside. Last week it paid off as he almost rushed for 100 yards versus Grambling.
On 2nd and 4, coverage downfield, so Jenkins tucks it and dances his way to no gain. Jerian Harris is there on the stop. Pressure came there from Brandon Thurman, who leads the country at the FCS level with 5.5 sacks.
And one of the luxuries that Arkansas Pine-Bluff has is the ability to get pressure on the quarterback without relying on the blitz. And it's because Brandon Thurman, when you give him a one-on-one matchup, he's going to win that matchup most of the time. Nobody in the country has more than 5.5 sacks in the tackles for losses. That's what keeps defensive coordinators happy.
And going against an offensive line here that is very young, a sophomore and a pair of true freshmen. They've given up more sacks per game, more than 3 per game, than anybody else in the SWAC.
And I think that's where this contest is going to be decided. Offensive line play versus defensive line.
3 receivers to the wide side on 3rd and 4, and thrown behind his intended receiver. It's 4th down. Look for Jarrett Neely, who had motioned across the formation. Both defenses forcing a punt on the opening possession.
And that's where Alabama State misses the services of Nehemiah Henry, their go-to wide receiver who's not played in a game yet this season. They're really hurting trying to get him back, and in his absence, they've been trying to grow some of these freshmen and younger receivers up in a hurry. Just hasn't quite been there yet, but they still managed to have success throwing the ball this season.
Bobby Wenzig, who's the SWAC specialist of the week for the second consecutive week, kicks it away to the true freshman Mitchell, but too strong and into the end zone. Both offenses with a touch. Both offenses punted away. Second touch for Arkansas Pine-Bluff when we come back. ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by the 2012 Fiat 500. Visit fiatusa.com. Look at the new Houston Markham Football Complex on the campus of Alabama State, home to 15 offices, a couple of meeting rooms, weight and training facilities. We got to walk through there yesterday, Jay. Quite a facility.
And I had seen it before. That was your first walkthrough. You were kind of shocked at what you saw, weren't you?
It was incredible.
I mean, it's state-of-the-art, second to none. It kind of made me wish I had some more eligibility just so I could hang around in the locker room. Very impressive, the things they've got going on the campus here in Montgomery.
You can see why a kid would want to come and play for Reggie Barlow when he's got that kind of stuff at his fingertips. Arkansas Pine-Bluff with his second possession. And redshirt sophomore Ben Anderson back to work with Dennis Jenkins to his left. And this is Jenkins getting the corner. Trying to get a cut block out front from Eckwood. But Darius Knox slipped off of the block. Still a good gain, and it's second down.
And, you know, this is why we talk about Teron Armstead being a special talent. Left tackle. Watch the ability. Look how nimble he is on his feet at 300 pounds, getting in there and taking the linebacker, strong safety for a ride right there. I mean, you just don't find guys that big that can move that quickly and effortlessly. That's why he's an NFL player.
Look at these quad receivers stacked up to the near side. And Anderson's going to take off. Pushed out of bounds by Saeed Lee after a first down gain of 5. And this redshirt sophomore, who started to develop in the passing game with his reads, is also running the ball more often lately.
Taking what the defense gives and buying into the system. Look at this formation. Just call this the old line formation. Now, this is something that was made popular in this conference by a guy by the name of Archie Cooley, who was the head coach at Mississippi Valley. And he came up with this formation to get the football to who? Jerry Rice. Okay. He would line up Rice as number 2, number 3, number 4.
Billings on first down. Behind Armstead and Savage. Winton Stewart, senior out of Lilburn, Georgia, was there on the stop along with Edward Mosley. And it's second down. It's Alabama State defense against the run in the first 2 games gave up 561 yards. And then last week, Cal Grambling to 78 yards. That'll be a key again tonight.
It will be. And when you talk about the yardage they gave up, you got to throw out that first game. They took on Bethune-Cookman. Bethune put 400 yards of rushing offense on them. So get that out the way. They've been pretty good.
They screen against pressure and have space as a result. Breaking free is Isaiah Ferguson. Hurdles his way inside the 30. A 37-yard gain on just the second catch of the season for Ferguson.
And this is the perfect call versus an outside blitz. They're going to bring pressure from this side. You're going to see Kewan Riley come in there along with the secondary linebacker. If they got an outside goes called, you want that because you've got one guy to beat on the outside and big play potential. Great play call there by Eric Dooley, the offensive coordinator for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
So first and 10 inside the 30. Dennis Jenkins with a first down carry into the teeth of the defense and dropped by Draquay Everett. It's second down. Very balanced offense for the Golden Lions. Very deep at running back. But as Jenkins sits down, Aaron LeGrone, a freshman, comes into the game. Eric Dooley told us, Jay, that if it was up to him, he'd throw every play. But they've got to take advantage of this deep running back core.
And I told him, anytime you've got a defensive coordinator as a head coach, you won't throw the ball every play.
They fake to LeGrone. Anderson pressured from behind, runs away from Everett. And he's inside the 5 to set up first and goal. Likely a personal foul penalty coming at the end of the play. Run of 21 yards for the redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, and they're getting them by formation. Schematically, when they line up with 4 wide receivers to the left side, this is throwing them off. So take a look. Who's over here once you run off the wide receiver there? It all comes down to the middle linebacker. He drops the focus on the 4 wide receiver side. They've got their back turned to the quarterback. Great decision by Anderson to realize he was unaccounted for on the right side. Take off and got big yards, and They're going to call it every time, Mr. Lee.
And so now Pine-Bluff into the red zone, where in 10 trips this season they've scored just 3 touchdowns. That's 108th in the country. They tell us that they've got things ironed out. First trip into the red zone tonight. They hand it off to Michael Wilson. Got to the goal line, but just short. This defense from Alabama State, as bad as Pine-Bluff is in the red zone, this defense nearly that good in the red zone.
And this is where it's got to play out. And if Pine-Bluff had a better red zone offense, they'd be undefeated. Alabama A&M, the one team that beat them this year, you see them get stuffed there, almost get in with a second effort. They stopped them 3 times inside the 10-yard line.
Wilson again stood up, 3rd and goal.
They might have lost half a yard on that play there. And you wonder, because they've got Armstead on the left side, everybody knows they're going there. So they're just putting an extra body there. And in that case, I would make the argument that the fullback they're bringing in is actually getting in the way, Michael Wilson. They're putting him in there. He's getting hit at his ankles. There's nowhere for the running back to go. When you've got a talented left tackle, why not spread him out and try and get a one-on-one matchup?
Out of the old T formation on 3rd down and goal, and they hand it off to Billings over the left side. He's in for the touchdown. Well, it took 3 plays from inside the 5-yard line, but the Golden Lions able to capitalize inside the red zone for one of the rare times this season.
And for a team that's so well running the football down the field, they really do struggle in the red zone. I mean, he barely got in, about as close as you can call it. They've got somebody on his ankles. Fortunate to get in there, but they're going to have to figure out a way to open it up and make red zone running a little bit more efficient.
Jeremy Edmonds and Michael Wilson were in there as the other backs in the T formation. For Tyler Strickland, kicked it through a flag down.
Project snap. False start. 45 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain the point after attempt.
You talk about this Arkansas Pine-Bluff team and how they should be undefeated if they were better in the red zone. The other piece, they don't do well. They're not disciplined. 13 penalties a game.
That's one. And they've been able to have success in spite of the penalty yardage per game. And that's what scares you when you talk about Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Every coach says they've got something brewing down there at the Bluff. And if they can ever put it all together, very difficult to beat.
It's interesting to look at the other 2 teams below them in the country as far as penalties. Good teams, Norfolk State, Tennessee State. Off for the extra point from Tyler Strickland. Arkansas Pine-Bluff on the road has a 7-0 lead behind the touchdown run from Justin Billings. His first of the season. It comes out of the T formation. Alabama State with the ball when we come back.
So, where are you living?
Justin Billings with a short touchdown run, but he did it behind Teron Armstead, who's a legitimate NFL prospect.
And this is what you like about him. They're going to line up. This is Jimmy Daniels here. He's going to try and shoot the gap. You've got to be very quick if you are Teron Armstead to catch up to him. But watch the pancake block on the reach block. He's reaching and taking him down there, giving some syrup. You don't really see too many pancake blocks down in the red zone. But when you've got the speed of Teron Armstead, you can do special things.
All-American shot putter as well, so it's not like he's just a slight guy that runs fast. When we said it earlier, he's a freak.
When the coaches told us he was 6'6", 320 pounds, running sub 5'4", that's it really. So even if he clocks a 4'8", you just don't do it at that type of size. And when I watched the film of him, it was like a wall. Anytime they tried to do a pass rush, nobody got to the quarterback. He's a quarterback's best friend playing left tackle.
Tyler Strickland's kick. Fielded by Carnell Boyd from the 1. Gets the wall set up and takes it back across the 25. We came out here to practice yesterday, and Coach had told us that this kid could play tight end if they needed him to. He looks like a tight end.
And when I saw him serve as the lead blocker on a wide receiver screen, I was convinced. I mean, the way he can turn on the jets, very nimble, and he carries 320 pounds like he's weighing 270 pounds. Very, very well put together there. Good character kid, smart, which is going to make him a good offensive lineman in the NFL. The intelligence factor you have to play in order to play offensive line in the NFL.
They say they want him to get a little bit meaner. That's not something you usually want said about you when you're no lineman. 15 plays already for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, more than 100 yards, and Alabama State will just now begin its second possession. And they'll do it backed up at their own 14 because of a holding penalty on that kick return.
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
This wide open spread attack, second in the SWAC in scoring at 25 points a game, led by Greg Jenkins. The Troy University transfer. Start this drive at the 14. On his own read, gets a pull read and breaks it to the outside for a good first down gain, and might have even picked up the first down. David Watson there for the stop, a flag at the end of the play.
Playing a little bit late. You cannot hit quarterbacks in particular once they get to the sideline. You've got to pull off no matter what you're doing. And sometimes it's hard to tell that Greg Jenkins is a quarterback.
Late hit, personal foul. Late hit, number 25 on the defense. 15 yards be added to the end of the run. First down.
Bill Ross.
That's Bill Ross. You're going to see somebody's got Jenkins. They're holding on to the jersey, but then Ross comes over and gives him that little smack out of bounds. Once he's out of bounds, Jenkins had pulled up already. Can't do it. That play, it's right there in front of the official. It's on the sideline. I rarely see officials throughout the country miss that call when it's right there in front of them.
That takes it all the way out to the 38-yard line for 1st and 10. And the Georgia transfer Crowell on the stretch play breaks it forward and is upended across the 45. It's a gain of 8 for the reigning SEC freshman of the year.
And this is when they're clicking on all cylinders. Jenkins runs to the left, Crowell to the right. Look at him stretch, find a little gap to squeeze through and accelerate with power, picking up 8 yards on the carry.
Xavier Lofton made the stop and let him know about it. Crowell again on 2nd down. This time Brandon Thurman was there to chop him down close to the 1st down. This is where Corral likes the ball on stretch type plays out on the edge.
Let him go sideways and find a crease and then turn on the jets. And he's becoming more comfortable running in between the tackles. Let's give him credit. Alabama State had the worst offensive rushing line in the SWAC conference last year. This year, with his addition, they're getting better. Got the quarterback Jenkins, who averages 58 yards a game, and Crowell averages 58 yards a game right now too.
They fake the zone dive and fling it to Cornelius Fenderson, who's got his 2nd catch of the day. And another flag back at the line of scrimmage. This one came at the end of the play.
Ineligible receiver, number 70 on the offense down the field. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
That's Taryn Owens, first team All-SWAC and an All-American.
This is that same play here where you see the wide receiver come out to the left and freeze it right there. The quarterback right now, look at what he's got. Receiver here he can go to here, or he can run the football this way if nobody accounts for him. This puts so much pressure on your perimeter defense. That's why it makes it look so easy, and the guys are coming wide open because as a defensive back, not only do you have to know where the wide receiver is, you got to know where the quarterback is.
Urban Meyer started to do that with Tim Tebow a couple of years ago in Florida. Flagged out the start of the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 11 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
4th penalty already on Reggie Barlow's team. Now with the completion to Fenderson that was wiped away by the penalty, they were going to have first down inside the 40. Now they've got 1st and 20 back inside their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, poor timing on those penalties now. But if you're Greg Jenkins right now, quarterback, realize this. What do we say every week? You don't have to get it all back in one chunk. More importantly, on first down, you want to pick up 7 or 8 yards, and you can try and get yourself in second and less than 15.
Alabama State's going to take a timeout.
Alabama State, first call timeout would be a 30-second timeout.
It's a young group. Fred Keiss, offensive coordinator, saying that they just really have to eliminate the mental mistakes that come from being such a young crew. Well, Jay, let's take a look at what's on tap for tonight during our broadcast. We're going to take a look at an Arkansas Pine-Bluff great.
He's going to be mad we put that picture up.
Jay will take us through your best games this weekend. There are a lot of good ones. We'll look at our Walker's Weekend Watch. And then finally, Alabama State here in Montgomery doing a lot of things to upgrade facilities. The new ASU Stadium that'll open up for the Turkey Day Classic against Tuskegee. Jay, you and I will be there. Looking forward to that.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
starting now as we're in town to make my reservations for dinner. So I'm meeting everybody asking, you going to be around for the Turkey Day Classic? When they say, oh, I wouldn't miss it, I said, good, where are you eating? So I've got about 5 invitations right now, so we're going to weed it out, and I'll make sure you get fed.
I appreciate it. First and 20 for Greg Jenkins in this offense. Malcolm Cyrus is checked in for Coetta, tailback. Against a 4-man pressure. Cyrus with a reception. And got a block from T.C. McWilliams to get up to the 45. That's a 7-yard gain. Jamel Maxwell made the tackle. Second down and 13.
Watch Greg Jenkins go through his progressions. Look at 1, 2. Let me go to my 3rd receiver outlet on the outside. Good recognition by Jenkins of what the defense was doing. And look at that block right there. Get the helmet in front of the other shoulder to make it legal.
On second down, on a crossing pattern, he's got a completion to Jarrett Neely. His first of the day. Xavier Lofton with another tackle. They worked it from 1st and 20 to 3rd down and about 7 coming up here.
And now you've got a shot at it because of great decisions being made by Greg Jenkins, a senior quarterback who transferred from Troy. I'm really impressed with the way he's played during his senior season. Seems like he's really got full grasp of this offense.
5-man protection against 5-man pressure. T.C. McWilliams has the catch, but he's shy of the 1st down. Right on top of him was Jarvis Webb.
And he's shy. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for it. This part of the game, you're down by 7. Maybe that's what they were thinking. This may be 2-down territory. You see there, just trying to see who's open. Went to the open wide receiver, but just a great tackle made by the secondary. Jarvis Webb from Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Andre Mitchell waiting back. And Bobby Wenzig's punt. Now Wenzig ran a fake for a 1st down in the game-winning drive against Grambling last week in this part of the field. High spiraling kick that gives the coverage team plenty of time to get under it, but it sails into the end zone. Arkansas Pine-Bluff will start at the 20. When we come back, we're going to take a look at ASU Stadium, how it stands right now, and what folks can expect on Thanksgiving. Back at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, take a look at new ASU Football Stadium. They started construction last year, and they're in a hurry to get it ready for the Turkey Day Classic. It's going to be a beautiful place. We got out there this morning to take a look at it. 26,500 the capacity for it. Synthetic surface, 20 luxury suites, club seating, and a club lounge. And boy, do they have the fan base to fill it, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, this place is filling up slowly but surely. Folks getting off work where kickoff time was 6:30 locally here, so they had to get the tailgate, get the Dreamland barbecue in their stomach, things of that nature. But they're coming in, and unfortunately, not going to like what they see. The Hornets are down by 7 against the Golden Lions.
And Pine-Bluff back to work. Justin Billings, who capped the last drive with a touchdown, squirts across the 25. A flag down at the end of the play on a gain of 9 yards. Roderick Holloway's been busy early on.
Illegal block in the back. Number 80 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, 1st down.
4 penalties on both teams early.
You can't afford to have one at this part of the field right now. You got the ball in the 20. Now they're going to take you back a little bit further. And you had a great run there by Billings, and it's all negated by a wide receiver blocking in the back.
Spot foul, so 1st down and 13 from the 17. Billings again got the edge sealed and got a block in front from Ladarius Eckwood to scamper forward for a nice gain. 1st down to the 36 on a gain of 21.
Yeah, right here, and you're going to see Anderson make the read, give it to the running back, let him bounce to the outside. Good job of setting up the wide receivers to block the defenders to pick up additional yardage. But another flag on the play. Let's see who this is against.
Whoever it's against will have 5 penalties before we reach the final minutes of this 1st quarter.
Delay of game on the sideline. 5-yard penalty. Delay of game. Administered against the sideline for being on the field. 5-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. First down.
They still get the first down. Spotted at the 32. Good start to this game for Justin Billings, who's got a touchdown run already. Couple of nice runs on this drive. Redshirt junior out of El Dorado, Arkansas, really playing at a high level right now. Third consecutive carry for Billings. This one goes nowhere. Mickey Jackson, sophomore transfer out of UAB, there for the stop, and it's second down.
And part of the reason why this Pine-Bluff team is so optimistic for the upcoming season, you've got 4 seniors starting on your offensive line. You've got Billings, who's a good running back who we've seen here, and they've got some good wide receivers there. So once Anderson came along and established himself as a quarterback, as a guy that can play above his sophomore demeanor, very exciting.
On the drag, Thomas Winters. Good open field tackle by Brandon Roberts to save a larger gain. And third down and 5.
So here on the crossing route here, good job by Winters of using the official. Use him as the rub guy. Force the linebacker to get out of his way. A great open field tackle by Roberts.
Third and 5. Speed out. Winters well short of the first down. Barely got a yard on that play. Third down and 5. You want your guys to get to the sticks.
You do, but you know, with the play selection there, they're taught if you're going to have your quarterback throw that long 5-yard out, most receivers will cheat, cut it down to 2 or 3 yards. But when you've got a young kid like Ben Anderson with a strong arm that he has, go ahead, get your full 5 yards, get the first down. You're exactly right, Joe, because he can put the ball there, even though it's a great distance to travel to football.
Second punt of the day for Aaron Godwin. And the flag flies. Either roughing or running into the kicker. Either way, it's going to be a first down because they needed just 4.
Running into the kicker. Number 32 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. The results of enforcements. First down.
Minaje Iguaze called for the penalty.
They've got pressure on them. I actually thought this punt might have been blocked, but the problem is if you don't block it, get a hand on it, you're going to end up running into that kicker. Look how close he was. He was just a split second away from making a great play. Instead, turns out to be a bonehead play. They call it running into the kicker. And now Arkansas Pine-Bluff will get the football back.
So Ben Anderson back to the field. We were talking with Cedric Thornton, defensive coordinator for Alabama State. He said that this kid got his vote for freshman of the year last year. Thinks that he's the second best quarterback in the league, obviously behind his own guy. High praise for redshirt sophomore.
And I can see the case. I mean, we've got 2 of the best quarterbacks in the SWAC playing this football game, between Jenkins and Anderson.
Dennis Jenkins cutting it against the grain. Saeed Lee with a stop. Well, ESPNU's coverage of college football continues Saturday. Arkansas attempting to get their season back on track against Rutgers. Rutgers in Arkansas Saturday.
Well, losing to Rutgers will be that. What else?
Empty set. 5-man protection, picks up a basic 4-man rush, and Desmond Beverly's got his first catch of the day. Close to a first down. They spotted the 48-yard line, and it's 3rd and a yard and a half.
Really good job by Eric Dooley, offensive coordinator, with his play selection. Really stressing the run, but also using the whole football field in terms of the passing game. So often in today's college world, you see him going to the short side of the field. Well, now when you've got a strong arm quarterback like Ben Anderson taking a deep drop with an offensive line that can protect, giving him the ability to go through all of his progressions.
There's that big set that they punch it into the end zone with.
Get the fullback out of there. No. Why? You don't need him.
Edmonds leads the way for Wilson. And the near line judge given a pretty good spot.
You got a left tackle who you know is going to win that battle. Now, unless they put several guys on him, but they bring the fullback. Watch what happens with the fullback. Tell me, does the fullback help or hurt the play? As we run it, you're going to see him. He's on the ground. So now that's more people that the running back has to get out of the way of to get over. I just like to think in that situation they can play power football without a fullback.
First down handoff to John Toney, who went 54 yards for a touchdown last week. We talk about this offensive line for Pine-Bluff being a big part of their success, but they're so deep at running back. That's the sixth guy we've seen involved in the running game already.
The running back by committee, and they've got a number of guys that catch the football as well. One of those staples of what Dooley likes to do offensively.
Anderson chased, goes incomplete to the sideline. Third down.
You know, we've been talking about Eric Dooley. This comes from his many years he spent at Southern University. And at Southern, when they ran that Jaguar offense, they used to terrorize the SWAC. And I think Monty Coleman said, well, after trying to defend it for so many years, let's bring that to Arkansas. And now they're starting to see the rewards, moving the ball up and down the field. But they do have to work on the red zone offense, but they've been effective here tonight.
Empty set on third down and 8. They twist up front. Deep drop from Anderson. Retreats and spins out of it and throws deep for Ladarius Eckwood. Pass interference coming. DeAndre Rashada was there on defense.
Well, we talked about the arm strength of Ben Anderson. He showed it to you there. Took a deep drop, got outside of the pocket, and let a ball absolutely fly.
Number 16 on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
It's on Rashada.
I mean, look at the pressure. He's going to go back 10 more yards. He's already got a deep drop, but once he escapes, looks, flick of a wrist. He threw that ball from the 40-yard line down to the 10-yard line. Is he going to get to the 5-yard line? 55 yards in the air with a quick flick of the wrist, rolling to his left. You used to have the ability to do that type of throw back in your day.
Love moving to the left.
Don't like throwing it 55 yards down the field to your left. But gave his wide receiver a chance, and they got the penalty to get the first down.
6 penalty already on Alabama State. Second one to keep this drive alive for Dennis Jenkins. A first down run into the red zone. Rashada with a tackle.
Did you see Armstead on that play there? Left tackle pulling, running like a tight end, getting into the hole, getting to the second level, springing his running back. Oh, he's special.
His first quarter comes to a close. Alabama State hampered by penalties. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff on the road, scoring in the red zone. That's been the issue early this season for a team they say is the best they've had in Pine-Bluff in years. 7-0 out of the second in Montgomery. Arkansas Pine-Bluff with a 7-0 lead after a quarter. Redshirt sophomore quarterback Ben Anderson with a long run to set up first down and goal. Got a penalty at the end of the play. And then after 2 stops by Alabama State on 3rd and goal, Justin Billings punts it in out of the T formation to make it 7-0. Alabama State hampered by penalties early on. They've got 10 more yards total in offense than they do penalty yards today.
And they're controlling the line of scrimmage. Right now, number 70, Terrell Armstead, he's earning the paycheck right now. Take a look at him playing this left tackle position. Watch him pull down the line and get a wipeout block here in the hole to spring the running back. But look how quickly he goes across formation. That's a big man, light on his feet, running like a tight end / wide receiver. I mean, 320 pounds, getting in the hole. Wow. That's tough for Brandon Roberts, the middle linebacker, to know you've got that much mass moving that fast towards you. What is that, EMC, whatever those equations are? I'm betting on him to win that battle.
6'5", 320, sub 540.
And light on his feet. And you've got some guys that can become workout warriors and just get that straight line speed. He's got the ability to change directions. And, you know, here at the game, there's NFL scouts here, NFL, New York Giants are here. If you're going to defend guys like Jason Pierre-Paul and Tuck and all those guys, you better have a very athletic offensive lineman. He's the type of package that they're looking for in the NFL. 12th play of a drive extended by a pair of penalties. And Dennis Jenkins runs away from a cornerback blitz on first down. Up to the 15. And this is where the balance for Arkansas Pine-Bluff should show up in the red zone. Spread teams normally struggle to score in the red zone, but a team that can run the football is normally very efficient in the red zone. Something that they're trying to work on at Pine-Bluff to try and become a great offense instead of being just a good offense, which they are right now on paper.
On second down, Anderson flushed, and will toss it out of the back of the end zone. Monty Coleman, head coach for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, told us, Jay, that between the 20-yard lines from 20 to 20, they're the best team in the country.
Yeah, it's decision-making. This is a great wall. Now, this is one where Anderson's youthfulness is showing up. He's got time to stay in that pocket. There was nobody close, but once he ran outside of the tackle, that put pressure on him. Learn to sit comfortable and tall in that pocket when you've got a good offensive line. Don't be in a rush to get out of bounds or get outside the pocket, particularly in the red zone.
Had 3 touchdowns in 10 trips to the red zone this season coming into this game. They're 1 for 1 so far today, but face 3rd and 7. Anderson with a short drop and a strong throw to Thomas Winters. And the ball popped loose at the end of the play. They will say that he was down.
This is going to be close. Initially, I thought when he capped the football, he had enough yardage for the first down. But he did like so many receivers do, trying to get extra yardage. He went backwards. And I believe when he moved backwards, the official might have spotted him from that step he took backwards. So let's take a look at where he catches this ball. He's squared up. He's on the 7 clearly. You know, he's on that 8-yard line, which is where he needed to be. And they ended up spotting the ball just a little bit shy of the 8-yard line. It's going to be close.
The 5th-year senior Winters down. He's 5'9", 180, but they say as gutsy of a guy as they have on this side of the ball. 7-0 Pine-Bluff. 14 minutes left first half.
The freedom and spirit of Malibu is an awesome plan.
Well, Thomas Winters doing just fine after was down at the end of the last play. Arkansas Pine-Bluff just short.
Now it's decision time. What do you do? I mean, this is a team that's been stopped and had trouble picking up short yardage situations. That was really their downfall in their loss versus Alabama A&M. You got to think. Look at that, 0 for 4 on 4th down.
With as good of a running game as they have.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case. I mean, right now you got to think with a senior-laden offensive line, lean forward, get that 3 or 4 inches, but they've made things very difficult on themselves all year.
They're going to bring the 2 big backs into the game again. Jeremy Edmonds in 45. Michael Wilson wearing 43 at the tailback. You got a quarterback who's 6'3".
Yep. I mean, you think, to be honest, all you have to do is just put a tight end outside of number 70 to seal the edge, and he's going to win his matchup. Armstead, lean forward.
They will sneak it.
Whoa.
Went over the right side.
Oh, no. He didn't get it. The official from the right side is marking that he was short.
Brandon Slater was there to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to depend on the spot.
This official right here has not moved that foot.
He's short. Alabama State with a big stop.
Unbelievable. With the ability to run the football, they cannot get a surge down the line of scrimmage. As a quarterback, you cannot have those shoulder pads going sideways. I don't know if you realize they were leaving a man unblocked. The tight end kicked down. They had somebody unblocked on the line of scrimmage. You cannot go there. And what a big stop by the Hornets.
Wonder how much of that was second-level thinking, running away from Armstead, thinking that Alabama State was going to guess they were headed left.
With 3 inches, though, you got to run up the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure that quarterback sneak was designed to go that way. From the blocking scheme I saw, maybe Ben Anderson saw something there that he shouldn't have seen, and he got duped by the defense.
So Greg Jenkins in this offense back to work. From the 9 on a zone read. He pulls it and he'll keep it outside. Jenkins with a first down run to the 27. It's a 16-yard pickup to move the chains right away.
And this is when Alabama State is fun to watch. When they've got the threat of Crowell on the read and Jenkins pulls it, he's another running back that can throw the ball like a quarterback, making guys miss, getting to the outside. This is one of the most exciting rushing duos in the SWAC conference.
Jenkins had a 29-yard touchdown run to win it last week against Grambling. Crowell busts upfield on the stretch play. Ryan Harris with a stop at the 35, and that's when they've gone to Crowell, how they've done it.
Yeah, and did you see the patience that he showed there? Waited, waited, waited. Then when he saw a little bit of daylight, quick acceleration to burst through the hole to pick up 7 yards.
Hornets working quickly. Crowell again on second down. Great patience again to set up the block, and a good job on the edge by Jamel Maxwell to belt him out of bounds after a first down. It was actually Giovanni Harvey that made the stop.
And you see this here. He's just waiting, looking, not there all the way. Okay, let me get a little yardage. Take a couple steps there, pick up the first down. But if you're Crowell, you got to be careful. Obviously, Arkansas Pine-Bluff is coming here saying, when we hit him, we're going to trash talk him. And it seems like he's fallen to that bait. Every time they're saying something to him, he's saying something back.
Jenkins pulls on the zone read. Ryan Harris tugs him down after a short gain. This is a prideful group. They say that they want to be the best defense in the SWAC, one of the best in the country. And Monty Coleman, head coach and D coordinator, telling us that they're excited for the challenge to face a guy like Crowell.
I think everybody that's playing HBCU football wants to see how they measure up against the former SEC newcomer of the year from just a season ago. And that's to be expected. I mean, transfers always get that when they come down a level of football.
Play action on second and long. Incomplete. Jarvis Webb with the coverage. Defending Marcus Gamble. And it's 3rd down and 9.
Great adjustment by the Arkansas Pine-Bluff defense. Jarvis Webb playing the strong safety position. They brought that triple option run pass combination his way. He did a good job of keeping an eye on Jenkins as well as staying in the passing lane, with Jenkins had nowhere to go with the football.
Not converted a 3rd down yet tonight. They're the 2nd best 3rd down team in the SWAC. Pressure up the middle. Screenplay against the pressure, but they didn't get the block on the edge for Landon Jones. Malcolm Cyrus whiffed, and the play was blown up.
They brought the blitz right up the middle, and that was one where if you make one guy miss, it's a touchdown. But if they make a great open field tackle like the Golden Lions did, forces Alabama State to punt.
Andre Mitchell, 3rd in the SWAC, averaging almost 13 yards a return. And this is true freshman season. Bobby Wenzig has boomed a couple already, but both into the end zone. Mitchell from the 10. Great coverage from Alabama State to bottle them up back at the 7. We've seen Isaiah Crowell so far for Alabama State, touching the ball several times during that last drive. The Georgia transfer that out of high school at Harbor Columbus in Georgia was considered the top running back in the country. And then at Georgia during his freshman season, the SEC Freshman of the Year, but dismissed from the Georgia program this summer. Arrested June 29th, carrying a concealed weapon with an altered serial number. There's not been a court date set, but if he's found guilty of what is right now 3 charges, could face up to $10,000 in fines and anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison. Right now, Reggie Barlow saying they're taking care of it the best they can, his family and his lawyers. And it hasn't seemed a distraction for him on the football field. Well, Aaron LeGrone went in motion and took the swing pass out of the backfield for a first down gain of 13. The play calling early on impressive for the Golden Lions.
And they've been very successful, and every time they go with one of these different formations, 4 wide receivers lined up, motion one across, thinking maybe jet sweep instead. The defense thinks, well, he didn't get the ball. They forgot about him. Good throw by Ben Anderson to hit him in stride to pick up the first down.
Formation heavy to the right, and they run behind it. LeGrone with his 2nd straight touch. And the redshirt freshman from Pine Bluff takes it out to the 25 and a gain of 4, where he's tackled right away.
And offensively, this is a very good football team. With that balance, they can do so many things. And if they can eliminate those turnovers, this is the team, or pardon me, the penalties, this is the team that has the talent to blow people off the football field.
LeGrone again with a strong run behind Teron Armstead. Looks like he's shy of the first down, but it'll be third down and very short.
And we know third down and short, fourth and short, been very difficult. Fortunately for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. You just wonder, how can they run the ball so effectively, first, second, third down, but when they have to pick up short yardage situations running the ball, they just, schematically, something's just not there. They just really struggle.
Here's this quad stack formation. Not seeing a screen out of this to the quad formation.
And this is the key. What's he going to do? If you're a quarterback, you're reading that guy who's responsible for the outside divider. Is he going out with the formation, or is he going to stay close to the box?
Timeout. Pine-Bluff.
Well, two great games on ESPNU Saturday, Jay. At noon, you've got Bowling Green heading to Blacksburg, where they face a Hokies team trying to...
How about the Power 5 rankings right now? South Carolina State moving down a spot. They were number 4. We had to drop them a little bit. Tough loss there. Number 4, Alabama State. Number 5 a week ago. Moved them up to number 4. Number 3, Alabama A&M. I told you, Joe, if they show me they can score some points, I'll move them from on the bubble to number 3. Number 2 is still Big Blue, Tennessee State. Rod Reed's got his team playing good football. And the number 1 team in the land is still the Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman. And on the bubble,
your boys,
the alma mater, the Bison from Howard University. Impressive win over Norfolk State. See if they can crack the top 5.
They throw away from the quad formation to Ladarius Eckwood, who spun away from Saeed Lee and got a good first down gain to the 37. Kawan Riley finally made the stop.
And Riley's one of those guys we talked about earlier. When they need a big play, he's normally the guy to do it. And once a team starts feeling comfortable, I've seen Kawan Riley snatch a ball out of the air that he just comes from nowhere. Thus far, Alabama State has done a good job of keeping everything in front of them. 2nd
and 3, down the seam for Thomas Winters. Riley was all that stood between the 5th-year senior and the end zone. 27-yard gain and some jawing after the play.
Yeah, and these are just vertical routes you're going to get right here. Everybody's going to do a streak, and they're just going to do them. You're going to see him right here in the slot. He's going to go untouched. If the linebacker's got to touch him, good job getting the ball. Now, why doesn't he go straight? He's looking for some contact. That's personal, Joe.
This is Thomas Winters, who went out with an injury last possession. Deep drop for Anderson. Floating it down the sideline, and pass interference coming as Ladarius Eckwood was defended by Saeed Lee.
Another good job by Eckwood of leaving his feet, forcing the official to make a call.
There's no foul on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
This is Eckwood at the end. They're saying it must have been an uncatchable ball.
It was catchable, but I don't think it was PI.
Yeah, I don't think it was pass interference, but it was definitely a catchable ball. He almost went right through his hands. But I guess it all balanced out.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
An empty set for the Pine-Bluff offense.
This is dangerous when they've got 3 receivers to one side in the middle of the field wide open.
Quarterback draw, can't dance away. Edward Mosley was there, but there's a flag after the play.
The play, personal foul, number 7 on the defense. Spearing on the corner while he's on the ground. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Saeed Lee, our impact player on defense for Alabama State, extends his stride.
You know, what makes him good is because he's feisty for his size and likes to mix it up, not afraid to, but we keep saying it. You know, quarterbacks are different. When they're going down, you can't do anything. I mean, you know, that's obvious call right there. Even if that was a running back, he came in so late, they probably would have called that. But you got to be careful when you're doing anything to a quarterback in today's college football and pro football landscape.
Well, a 5-man box for Alabama State with 6 blockers for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Justin Billings trying to take advantage inside the 10, first down and goal. But a flag back at the 23.
They're going to call holding on Armstead on the left side of your screen. He's got him to wash down.
Leland Baker, the guy that tugged out.
I think he just kind of took him for a ride. He pushed him to the inside, then pushed him to the outside.
Big penalty there. Instead of first down and goal at the 8, it'll be first down and 20 on the 6th Arkansas Pine-Bluff penalty of the day. With Jay Walker, Joe Davis at the Crampton Bowl, Montgomery, Alabama. And from the 32, they hand it straight ahead for Billings. And if you're Alabama State, that's just way too much.
I mean, they are knifing through the interior defensive line as well as the linebacking core of Alabama State right now. Quinn Bohannon's getting driven off the ball. Brandon Roberts is making tackles 8 yards down the field. They're trying to play with 5 guys in the box. And it's just not going to work against an offensive line that's this effective. Once again, they've got the numbers to run if the quarterback wants to take off.
Hornets twist up front and apply pressure, causing Anderson to throw off his back foot at 3rd and 11.
And when you've got that much time in the pocket, 4-man rush, solid tackles on both sides, you've got to be able to stand tall in that pocket, become more of a threat in the running game, as well as come up with a better throw, better place to go with the football. Take a look at this here. You see quarterback's lined up already 7 yards deep. That's a little deep. And then he's going to get an additional 5 yards deep on the drop if they decide to drop back and pass.
Anderson for the corner. It's caught by Ferguson and then dropped. Ripped away by Marcus Berg, the junior corner. 4th down.
And when you take that deep drop, that ball tends to hang in the air for a long time, allowing the defensive back to get back into play. Ball's going a long ways. And at the last moment, Marcus Berg able to get a hand in there and bat the ball away for the pass breakup.
They'll try a 40-yard field goal here for Tyler Strickland. This would be a season long. And he hooked it badly. Well, the penalties biting Arkansas Pine-Bluff on this drive. Great defense from Marcus Berg against Isaiah Ferguson to set up 4th down. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the best games this weekend with Walker's Weekend Watch. Sammy Watkins and Clemson take it on Florida State.
Look at guys.
Marcus Berg to the back there. Broke up a pass on 3rd down, and then a missed field goal from Arkansas Pine-Bluff gives Alabama State the ball again at the 23-yard line. Getting dominated in time of possession, 14 plus for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, just 8 minutes with the football for Alabama State. Defensive end crash, so Greg Jenkins kept it and got 5 to the 30 or to the 28.
And you've got to be disappointed with Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Yes, you've got the lead. You're winning on the road, but you've got 200+ yards of total offense and 7 points to show for it. Meanwhile, your defense has held Alabama State to less than 90 yards offense, and it's still, game is in limbo.
Crowell stretches to the corner. He runs out of bounds at the 30. Xavier Lofton forced him out, 3rd down and about 3.
And at some point, you know that Jenkins or Crowell is going to break off a big run. I mean, they've been tinkering on it all evening long. And when things like that happen, you go back and look at how many points did we leave on the board that we should have walked away with some points. Missed field goal and stopped on 4th and 6 inches. They have to hope that doesn't come back to haunt them.
Jenkins keeps and has a first down. Now a flag comes at the end of the play after Alabama State's first third down conversion tonight. Been a lot of these early on.
After the play, personal foul, hit to the face, number 95, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Sean Robinson, that'll add 15.
And what did we say earlier? You can get away with a lot of things in the game of football when people aren't watching, but everybody's always watching the quarterback. Different set of rules when the quarterback is running the football. You try and get away with some stuff, they're going to catch you all the time. So he'll be at the end, and you're going to see that left arm come in there. You cut it off, but everybody's watching the quarterback. Just what do they say? You got to treat them like with gloves. There's a reason they have that cliche.
Pine-Bluff showing pressure. They bring it. Jenkins with a slant, broken up by Bill Ross out of the middle linebacker spot. Landon Jones, the intended receiver.
And that's good recognition and coaching by Monty Coleman, the defensive coordinator. If you can force a team to throw hot and buzz your middle linebacker to where you anticipate the hot read going, great job by Bill Ross of recognizing it. If they get rid of it quickly, probably going to try and throw the slant. He almost intercepted that ball, but it was great pass defense and recognition.
On second down, they fake the dive, and Jenkins down the seam, missed Landon Jones, third down. A flag back where the ball was thrown. Likely going to be roughing the passer.
I think this might have been why Jenkins missed that throw.
The shoulders to the quarterback. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Robinson again, that's the fourth personal foul penalty of this game.
They set him up with the double move, and you see he's throwing the ball. Lowered that shoulder, helmet to helmet. You've got to treat those quarterbacks differently. I mean, wide open. That's one there where I'm sure Jenkins says, I make that throw 9 out of 10 times. Landon Jones able to set up the defensive back, catch him biting on the curl and go. Missed the opportunity for a big play, but they'll have to settle for just getting a first down with the assist of a penalty.
And it was Bill Ross, not Robinson, with a penalty. From the 32, first down. Look for the wheel pad. It wasn't there. Now down the far sideline. Hauled in for a first down. Heck of a catch by Darren Daniel, who's listed as a quarterback.
Darren Daniel, the transfer from Stanford. When we talk about him, they say he's got great athleticism. And this one here, good job of catching the ball with his hands. Look at the hands. Snatch it out the air, get the feet inbounds. Great play by Daniel.
Let's take a look at how Alabama State is done in the red zone. Brought to you by Verizon. They've scored in 9 of their 10 trips. The only time they didn't score, they ran the clock out inside the 20 against Grambling. On first down and goal, Jenkins with a pull read, and Jenkins inside the 5. Brandon Thurman ran him down. I don't think he knew Thurman was behind him.
Thurman can go. That's the Mr. Motor guy. Is the reason why he leads the nation in tackle for losses and sacks. So you think you've got him there, shed the block. Look at the speed, turn on the jets, plus the addition of David Watson coming up off the corner. That's why you can tell by Jenkins' running style, while the Hornet fans are always on the edge of their feet. He takes a lot of hits for a quarterback and has yet to make it through a full season without getting injured.
Hornets trying to tie the game. Second and goal. Corral to the corner. Touchdown, Alabama State. The 5th for the Georgia transfer.
We talked about the patience he shows. Looking. Great seal block there on the edge of a right tackle. Tovar Allen, and Crowell showing the good patience to get in there. And all of a sudden, they make the PAT, although being outplayed thoroughly in the early part of this game. We're all knotted up at 7.
Bobby Wenzig with the extra point. And Isaiah Crowell, reigning SEC Freshman of the Year, gets good blocks on the edge and gets the touchdown to tie this game. ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Avis and by Weight Watchers Online for Men. Lose like a man with Weight Watchers Online for Men. Looking at some of the scenes from the Houston Markham Football Complex. And taped to the top of the lockers this week. You see Kewan Riley's locker right there. Something different we'll visit in just a moment. Alabama State getting a touchdown from Isaiah Crowell. His 5th of the season, 10 rushing touchdowns for this offense.
Of the 10, Crowell's got 5 of them, responsible for half of the rushing TDs, and quarterback Greg Jenkins the other 5. And the most dynamic running combinations you're going to see between a quarterback and a running back.
Andre Mitchell off a short kick from Wenzel. There's a flag down on a good return by Mitchell. It's back to the 33.
During the return, holding number 49 of the return team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Pine-Bluff.
All right, so we said there was that piece of paper taped to the top of the lockers. Just went up this week, and it says there's been a lack of accountability in the program lately. As a staff, they've tried numerous things to get you the student athlete being accountable. Therefore, effective immediately, the following is implemented. A missed class or missed weight session means you miss 1/4 of a game. 2 misses, you won't play the first half. 3 misses, you'll miss the first 3/4 of the game, and if you miss a 4th class or weights, you won't play.
And I'm sure that's cumulative. So, like, if you miss 2 classes and 2 weight training sessions, then you're going to miss a whole game. And I like that. I mean, that's what you have to have. It's very difficult to be a college athlete. Like, we all know that. But you do have scholarship. You know, and you got certain privileges that go along with that one. You've got to act responsible, and particularly now with, you know, you've got to look out for the generation that's coming after you. APR is really decimating colleges across the country, so you've got to go to class and you've got to graduate.
Brandon Roberts tackled John Toney on first down. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's offense with more than 200 yards, but just 1 score. Down the seam into traffic, and it's broken up. Leland Baker just took away interception number 20 of Kewan Riley's career.
Baker was doing what he was supposed to do. You know, you're going with the guy down the seam. You see the ball in your grasp. You've got to try and get a hand on it. But Kewan Riley was right there. he comes out of nowhere. And in that case, he even surprised his own teammate by covering that much ground.
19 interceptions for Riley in his career, the most in Alabama State history, and the active FCS leader. Anderson looks down the sideline. Out of the backfield went Dennis Jenkins, and he's tripped up. DeAndre Rashada with the defense. I don't think he knows that there's a flag down behind him. They picked it up. Kewan Riley, 19 interceptions, school record. FCS active leader, the all-time FCS record, Rashawn Mathis, 31.
From Bethune-Cookman. I was actually there when he broke the record that night. You know his record he broke, Rashawn Mathis broke to get the record? Superman, Dean Cain. So they know something about picking off passes at the HBCUs.
Mathis has done plenty of it as a pro as well. 30 interceptions in the NFL. The studio let us know what's going up at halftime when we come back. Tied at 7, 4:11 left to go in the first half.
So,
The State Farm halftime report.
All right, Matt. Monty Coleman's team got off to a good start today, but Alabama State has tied it at 7. And what a crowd. You said it during the break, Jay. Bar's been set for our Thursday night ESPNU primetime crowd.
This is going to be hard to top. You got some places that draw a little bit better in the SWAC conference, but I don't know if they're going to do better all season long. Very impressive crowd here by the Hornet Nation.
Jenkins couldn't get away. It's Brandon Thurman with his 6th sack of the season. 6.5 total, leads all of FCS.
He's one of the guys that they said nobody can block him one-on-one. If they try to do it, he's got the speed to get around the edge, recognize a quarterback, and look at that. Greg Jenkins can run. Greg Jenkins can really run. And that's the 2nd time tonight we've seen Brandon Thurman chase him down.
First sack of the night for him, working against an offensive line that gives up more sacks than any other team in the SWAC. 2nd and 12. Corralo had a touchdown in the previous drive. Hit by Xavier Lofton. 3-yard gain, and it's 3rd down and 9. But the negative 1st down play puts you in a tough spot on 2nd down, and an even tougher spot now with 3rd and 9.
Yeah, when you've got defensive linemen, defensive ends that are very good. Damian Lee's a good one for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, but Brandon Thurman, you know, we talk about the tackles for losses he has. I mean, he's got that motor. You talk to Coach Coleman, what makes him go? Great size, 6'2", 260 pounds, but an even better motor, the engine. Always want him to make a tackle on every single play.
Roll out for Jenkins. He'll set his feet with pressure coming from Damian Lee, and it's 4th down.
Now, this won't show up as a tackle for loss, but this is all Brandon Thurman. You know, when you've got a mobile quarterback, you're told, don't give up the edge. They're going to send a double team, but Thurman is going to force Jenkins all the way out here. Even when they send the double team to chip on him, look, pushing, you're not getting outside of him. You're not getting outside. You're not getting outside. Not getting outside. Forcing Jenkins to stay in his grasp, throwing the football away. Doesn't show up as a sack or a tackle for loss, just an incomplete pass. But that's great defensive end play from Brandon Thurman.
You drop into a return off of this punt from Bobby Wenzig. And no chance for Andre Mitchell to get a return. Excellent bounce for Wenzig. A punt of 57 yards and some extracurricular back behind the play with a flag flying at midfield. We've seen way too much of this tonight.
And there were 2 Arkansas Pine-Bluff defenders on top of an Alabama State player.
After the play, there are 2 fouls on the play. We have a dead ball, personal foul, number 40 on Alabama State. We have a dead ball, personal foul, number 25 on Pine-Bluff. Those penalties canceled. 1st down, Pine-Bluff.
Bill Ross, 2nd time he's been called for a personal foul, was called for roughing the passer earlier, and Brandon Slater for Alabama State.
And they're fortunate this offset because they were 2 guys on top of them. And I guess one of them was there just trying to break it up so cooler heads could prevail. You're in a football game at 7-7. A penalty like this can cost your team the football game, the lead going into halftime. Got to get more discipline. I know both coaches let their teams know there was a sense of urgency in this football contest tonight, but I'm sure the sloppy play and the penalties have really been the story of the first half, particularly for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
2.5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. You trying to put something together here?
I think so. I mean, you're trying to run the ball, maybe see if you can get Armstead to seal the edge and get Billings to break off one, and then if he gets some positive yardage, then you go in the hurry-up 2-minute offense.
Billings explodes behind the fullback Jeremy Edmonds and is still going. Heck of a run for Justin Billings.
And see, now you go. So now you take out the extra tight end that you had. You know, you got the 1st down. Clock's going to stop while they move the chains and spot it. You go in the hurry-up offense. Now you go into attack mode.
First down, and Billings again took a high handoff and runs low across the 25 to the 30 or to the 28-yard line. Traquay Everett with a stop. Coming up at halftime, the State Farm halftime report. Billy Gillespie resigning. Rebounding after Bama beat down. Arkansas trying to get things done against Rutgers this week, and then we'll look at the Saturday marquee matchups as we move towards the end of September.
This is Tyler Wilson proving his importance to that Arkansas program. I mean, they lose to Louisiana Monroe when he goes out, then get the donut put on him by Roll Tide.
Anderson does well to get away from the pressure, and a flag down back where the ball is thrown.
Holding, number 70 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
And so now with that holding penalty now, if you're Alabama State, you start thinking, we're going to get the ball back. If we utilize our timeouts effectively, the clock being stopped, you can get it back in pretty decent field position. And Riley is their return guy. So now Alabama State's going to go from defense, trying to just keep Arkansas Pine-Bluff off the clock, to, hey, let's get a couple quick stops, get the ball back, and we can try and get the lead going into halftime. I think you got to run the ball right now if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
do, and then is Jenkins. And Jenkins has a first down and more. 23-yard run. Keyline Riley with a stop.
And now it changes. And now you go back to being aggressive on offense. Great run here by Jenkins. Left side. There's going to be a hole there behind Armstead. And there, Keyline Riley just holding on, going for a ride. I think he got a turf burn being drugged like that on that field turf.
Wouldn't have felt good. Anderson comes back to his second read. Eckwood in stride. First down at the 20. Worked against Saeed Lee and got 39 yards on a huge completion.
Great job of continuing the run to get open, and then the concentration of cradle that ball down to the ground, show it to the official. Good patience as well by Anderson, delivering the ball on the M-O-N-E-Y.
First down from the 22. Ball is never snapped by Christopher Wilson. And another flag.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain first down.
18th total penalty of his first down.
I think the officials, I think both teams are trying to tire out the officials, so maybe in the second half they'll just let them play and maybe not call it as close.
Yeah.
But you got to think, how good could Pine-Bluff be if they could just reduce the penalties, you know, not eliminate, but just by half or take off 25%.
They fake the Billings and throw the receiver screen to Ladarius Eckwood. And Ladarius Eckwood has a touchdown. From 25 yards out. Got a block from L.J. Branch and gives Arkansas Pine-Bluff the lead once again.
I mean, watch them crease it out there. You see they got offensive tackles downfield. And then look at this. This is just, Joe, I can get through there. You can go this way, that way. Look at that daylight all day long, zigzagging. Good downfield blocking. That's how you draw up the wide receiver screen. That was an interesting 2-minute offense. We went from stepping on the gas pedal to playing defensive with the run, and then all of a sudden, big play. Let's put some points on the board.
Extra point from Tyler Strickland is good.
And good job by Ely doing the wash down. You've got Armstead down there. Everybody's got a body on a body. Every white jersey on that play was pushed against a black jersey. Out in open space, untouched into the end zone. Little zigzag move there and touchdown by Eckwood.
Inside of a minute left in this half, 54 seconds. If you're Alabama State, are you thinking about trying to do something here?
It's all predicated on what they get, the type of yardage they get on the kickoff return. You know, if they do a good job on special teams and keep you inside your 25-plus yard line, then I think you got to go into halftime. Because you don't necessarily want to have to force the hurry up where you know you've got to throw it when they've got guys like Brandon Thurman and Damian Lee on the defensive line for the opposing team.
Strickland's kick backs Jarrett Neely into the end zone. And not good field position. Brandon Miner made the stop on special teams, along with Kevin Rucker. So you see where the field position is. Do you just run the ball and run the clock?
Take a knee. I don't even chance it.
Alabama State will have the ball out of the halftime break.
No, this is a team in Alabama State where they don't do quarterback under center, so you know, they don't really take the knee 5 yards deep. So what you may see him do is just a handoff or two to Crowell, see if maybe he can spring one, but too much real estate to cover.
Play clock down to 5. And a timeout. That hurts your chances of putting something together.
Timeout. Alabama
minute
State.
and a half.
Second call timeout.
Let's take a look at our SWAC news and notes. We're almost a quarter of the way through the season, Jay.
I mean, and this is the shocker. Louisiana struggles. For years, Grambling and Southern always dominated the SWAC Western Division. Who would have thought at this point in the season, neither team in the state of Louisiana has a win? That's a surprise. And Alabama Power, tired of playing second fiddle to Jackson and Mississippi. Alabama State A&M, you see what they've done on the year. Fantastic job at 5-1. The one loss from Alabama State coming in the MEAC SWAC Challenge to Bethune-Cookman, and we called it last week. Southern University, Stump Mitchell reassigned, now defensive coordinator. Dawson Odoms gets promoted to interim head coach. There will be a lot of names in the hat for that job, and pretty early for a coach to get reassigned, as they like to call it, this early in the season. But patience was growing thin down in Baton Rouge.
And you talked about it right at the head of the broadcast last week, that it was, and he needed to get some wins in a hurry.
He knew he was on the hot seat. And I think another thing with that Southern job there is you see the tackle behind the line of scrimmage is when you're the head coach and you're the offensive coordinator, and you said that coming in this was going to be your best offensive year, in your home opener, you get shut out, you lose 6-0 to a team that has only beat you twice in 20 years. There's nobody you can reassign. You can't fire your offensive coordinator. That's you. I just think the folks down in Baton Rouge said, time to cut our losses on what was a very turbulent 3 years during the Stump Mitchell era.
Well, this can be it for Alabama State if they choose to, and that's what it looks like they'll do. A couple of additional seconds on that play clock, and this will bring the first half to a close. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff, which scored in the first quarter, was quiet for a while. A long drive to retake the lead in the final minutes of the half. 14-7, Golden Lions in front. Alabama State will have the ball to begin the second half. Now let's head to the studio. Here's Matt Sick and Jason Sehorn.
Welcome to the better state.
Justin Billings gets into the end zone, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff with a 14-7 lead on Alabama State.
8 seconds.
Alabama State and Isaiah Crowell, they're getting back in this game. 14-7 at half. Hey, thanks for coming up tonight on the Sports Center. Oh, yeah, look at them getting down. Oh, look at the Hornet shaking it. All right, yeah, more of that coming up. 14-7 at half. And Kent State and Buffalo. It happened last night. Kent State in some action. Some other action right now. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Ladarius Eckwood, the touchdown. It's 14-7. We'll go back to Joe Davis, Jay Walker for the second half.
Well, Mr. Raji.
Let's take a look at Bringing the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. 14-7, Arkansas Pine-Bluff in front of Alabama State as we come out of the halftime break. Alongside former NFL quarterback Jay Walker, Joe Davis on hand. It's 14-7, but for Alabama State, probably lucky that that's all.
Very fortunate. Arkansas Pine-Bluff has not had the ability to capitalize and cap off some of those drives. Alabama State, maybe the large home crowd, kept them in it to only be down by a score. Reggie Barlow's got to be very, very happy.
Let's take a look at how Alabama State can get to a better state, brought to you by State Farm against the run game from Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
In order to stop Pine-Bluff from controlling the time of possession, they've got to stop the running game. You see what Arkansas Pine-Bluff has been able to do on the ground. Statistically, they've done it in all types of ways. Running the ball in between the tackles, on the perimeter, attacking the edges. They've done everything they wanted to do running the ball. If Alabama State's going to get to a better state, it's going to start with tackling around the line from the box and wrapping up guys there. Otherwise, it'll make for a long second half.
Here are the first half stats. You talked about Arkansas Pine-Bluff running the football against Alabama State. They threw it as well. 339 total yards of offense during that first half. And the penalty yards, once again, for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, an issue.
And that's going to be the issue for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. If they're going to win this football game, they cannot have another half of 100 yards plus penalty, because a good team will sooner or later make you pay for it and catch up to you. 8'5", 06. He's an alpha, huh?
Is that what that is?
Is that what it is in the Greek alphabet? Alpha, Phi, Alpha?
Alabama State will receive to begin this second half. Jarrett Neely and Carnell Boyd waiting back. And it'll be Jarrett Neely from the 3. Trying to find some space. Both these teams very good this season in kickoff coverage, and no different there. Returned out to the 17-yard line. Corey Schofield with a stop. And for Alabama State, there were flashes during that first half of solid offense, but just unable to put together any big drives.
Yeah, they've got to get it going consistently down the field. They've relied on the big play, and they've got big play potential with Jenkins and Crowell. But at the end of the day, you've got to be thinking, if you're Alabama State, with this type of offensive firepower, how do we get held to just 135 yards total offense in the first half? Not acceptable. They've got to ramp it up, and it all starts for them with their offensive line play.
They're young up front, a sophomore and 2 true freshmen. Very much like the first half.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 70 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remain, first down.
8th penalty of the game already on Alabama State, 19th total.
And I know that both teams have black and yellow in their uniforms, but we don't need the yellow flags to accessorize those uniforms.
Here's Crowell. Short gain. Bill Ross with his 6th tackle to lead the team. Senior out of nearby Wetumpka, Alabama. Preseason all SWAC and the leader with this talented linebacking core, which has been good so far today.
And one thing I like about Bill Ross, he likes to hit. You know, playing that inside linebacker position, he's looking for contact. 240 pounds, good frame, but wearing 25 looks like a defensive back sometimes out there.
On 2nd and 12, a wide receiver screen off of the hands of Marcus Gamble. And it's 3rd down.
And that's frustrating there. Got a good call, good play call. Wide receiver, you play catch every day for your scholarship. Get a simple one like that, you got to hold on to it and run it after you have the catch.
And 4 or 5 drops last week. This is a wide receiving core they thought would be a strength coming into this season, but they've had their struggles. Solid pocket on 3rd and long, and a strong throw is caught at the 32. Landon Jones sliding under it for a gain of 16 and a big 3rd down conversion for the Hornets.
And that's a good job. That's how you come back and help your quarterback out, Landon Jones. Ball thrown low, get down and go get it. Jenkins steps into this throw. It's a rocket. Great job going low to the ground to make the catch by Jones.
It's only the 2nd 3rd down conversion in 6 tries in this game for Alabama State. Jenkins with a pull read. Stiff arms Bill Ross, but can't get away from Jarvis Webb. Short loss on 1st down, with a senior coming out of the safety spot along with several other white shirts.
And I know that Alabama State is setting their ways on what they like to do in attack, but sooner or later you've got to be able to run the ball between those guards. You can't continue to rely on running east-west. You've got to go north-south. You got a big bruising back like Crowell, talented. Give him the ball in between the guards.
Here he is here with nothing doing. Xavier Lofton.
And doesn't Crowell, I mean, you're seeing him now. This is my 2nd time seeing him this season. He's the type of guy that if you just let him run straight ahead, he's going to pick up 2 or 3 yards minimum. And then he'll have a crease and he'll break the big one. But you're really putting a lot of pressure on your wide receivers to hold those blocks, your tackles not to hold when you continue to run the stretch play to the outside.
Anytime they've run inside zone, it's been Malcolm Cyrus who's into the game now. On 3rd down and 9. Pressure, but he steps away from it. Now eyes downfield. He's going to run his way across the grain for a 1st down. What an individual effort from Greg Jenkins. A 12-yard gain before Jerian Harris brought him down.
I mean, he's like ZZ Top. He's got legs, and he knows how to use them. Gets outside the pocket, very aggressive with his running style. You're not going to bring him down in the open field one-on-one. He's not your typical quarterback. He's more like a running back that can throw the football very well. Greg Jenkins continues to impress me with his ability to run the football in open space and not allow one defender to bring him down.
Pressure off of the edge and no chance on an outside zone play. Sean Robinson was the first to get in, but there were plenty of Golden Lions in the backfield.
I mean, it's almost to the point where if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, you're just telling your defensive ends, don't get beat to the outside and guess left or right. They're not running the ball up the middle. It's just something they don't seem to do comfortably. And it seems like Arkansas Pine-Bluff has made the adjustment, saying if you're not going to run it in here, then we'll chase it down on the outside and contain it.
It's a loss of 7 and a quarterback draw on 2nd and 17. Bill Ross. It's Greg Jenkins after a gain of 5.5, 3rd and long.
See, I like that play selection, but I just want Crowell to have the ball. You know, I want Crowell running the ball in between the guards and tackles. And see, Alabama State offensive coordinator Fred Keiss, veteran offensive coordinators, produce some of the best running backs we've seen in HBCU football, and high-powered offense.
Converted on 3rd down and long earlier on this drive. Jenkins looking down the center of the field on a post pattern. It's hauled in despite pass interference. Darren Daniel bobbled it, no reception, but there is a flag down.
You can tell by Daniel the athleticism they talked about. He's got the ability going from the quarterback position to wide receiver.
Interference. Number 30 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic.
And you see this as the play is taking shape. He's looking. Go get it. Go get it. Is he there? Is he there? Is he? Oh! So close. And I had a chance to talk to one of my good friends, Pep Hamilton, offensive coordinator at Stanford. When I asked him about Daniel, he said, good quarterback, better athlete. You can easily see him making the transition to wide receiver and making some things happen. It seems as if they might have discovered another weapon down here in Montgomery.
It would have been a touchdown had Giovanni Harvey not interfered. Stretch play for Cyrus. Good edge blocking from Alabama State wide receivers, but now a flag down as Jarvis Webb runs him out of bounds. Maybe too good a blocking.
What's the over-under on 30 penalties?
Right
Is
there.
that what you said at 30?
Holding. Number 85 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down. Number of Alabama State must leave the game for one play due to helmet dislodge.
As Marcus Gamble that's got to come out of the game.
I mean, if they would only have 30 penalties, that would mean the play improved. Because they had 18 in the first half, and it would only be 12 penalties in the second half. Week in and week out, you always see the team that's the most heavily penalized, more times than not, end up losing football games. Costly penalty.
On 1st and 14, complete to Cornelius Fenderson. First down inside the 15. Went to the slant and broke out of the tackle to explode for 33 yards.
We know Jenkins can run, but he can also throw it too. Good location on the slant. You got to make sure you throw it ahead of the defensive back that was coming from the outside. Big play for the Hornets.
2 catches for Fenderson, 47 yards today. Alabama State knocking on the door, trying to tie this game. Pressure comes against the stretch play. Cyrus with a seam. Touchdown. First of the season for the sophomore from Monongahela, Alabama.
Then all they're going to do is run the stretch play here. He's looking this way, this way. Once he gets that crease over here, he's going to make one guy miss at the line of scrimmage. Stretch, stretch. Here it is. Hop over the tackle into the end zone.
Bobby Wenzig's extra point ties the game. Alabama State on its possession to open the second half takes it right down the field and ties the game. Malcolm Cyrus with his first touchdown of the season. Stick around. When we come back, we'll show you bringing the flavor from here in Montgomery.
The first look is only the beginning. Introducing a stunning work of technology. Introducing the entirely new Lexus ES. And
bring it in, lay it out, time to win. Tell them what you about, HBCUs, here we go. See you, leave you on the ground. I wouldn't want to be you either. We act swag, leave you out of whack. If we run you off the field, so you're never coming back. HBCUs, here we go. See you, leave you on the ground. I wouldn't want to be you either. We act swag, leave you out of whack. If we run you off the field, so you're never coming back.
That's bringing the flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. Alabama State brought it on that first drive of the second half, 14-14. They even the issue with Malcolm Cyrus's first career touchdown run. And now Arkansas Pine-Bluff getting the ball back. And racing for the edge with good speed is Jonathan Johnson. A flag at the end of the play.
You're going to have another late hit. Returner was 2 or 3 yards out of bounds on the sideline, and Alabama State defender came up, gave him a little tap.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 27, Alabama State.
5th personal foul penalty of the game on these two teams combined. On the last drive for Alabama State finally put things together in large part because of what they did on third down.
Yeah, their third down offense was pretty much non-existent in the first half. That's what good coordinators and coaching staffs do, make halftime adjustments. What do we have to do on third down to pick up a couple of first downs, keep the drive alive, tie up this football game?
So Arkansas Pine-Bluff back to work, 339 yards during the first half. They work out of the eye. It's a reverse play. Jonathan Johnson getting a block in front from Anderson, and then is belted down to the ground. Jimmy Daniels, the senior out of Oglethorpe, Georgia, with a forearm.
That's a defensive end's dream. Catch a running back on a verse or a wide receiver. Let's take a listen to this pop here. The hit was good. Crowd reaction was better.
2nd and 1, or 2nd and 9. Thomas Winters is tripped up.
See if he starts stumbling, and Daniels coming from his defensive end position, trying to trail the runner from inside out.
He was the guy that jumped off the screen when Arkansas Pine-Bluff was watching tape of these guys. 3rd down and 7. Anderson to a wide open man for a first down. Wesley Hawthorne, the sophomore out of Arlington, Texas, with a gain of 14 to extend the drive.
Good pocket here. We talk about the deep drop they take. 15-yard curl routes with the deep drop. So he's going down to 10, 15 yards. That throw right there, 25-yard throw. Got to have some arm strength and make sure you definitely step into your throw, as Ben Anderson did on the power play.
Draw play for Dennis Jenkins on first down. And he's dropped immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Jimmy Daniels starting to feel it again from the defensive end. He got the big hit on the reverse, this time chasing down the running back in the backfield.
There's a flag down behind the formation.
Legal substitution on the offense. 12 men in the formation. 5-yard penalty remains 2nd down.
We might reach 30 penalties tonight, Jay. We're over 29.
Yeah, well, with all this time left, yeah, we got to take it up to 35.
Okay, setting the over-under there.
Yeah. You know, but I think what they're saying now, if you're going to say 12 men, where's the 12? Did anybody come running off? I didn't see anybody run out of the huddle over to the sideline. And Monty Coleman, he's not letting this go lightly. He's on the sideline arguing his case. He's right there on the 50-yard line. He's trying to stop play. He wants justification.
What a run by Dennis Jenkins. Up to the 40-yard line, stepped out of a pair of tackles in the backfield and managed to get 7 yards. Brandon Roberts with his 8th stop of the day. That leads Alabama State. And it sets up a 3rd down and 8.
If you're Alabama State, you got to be thinking they're going to try and run some curl flat combination like they've been doing all evening.
And lucky for the Golden Lions, a flag down, because Desmond Beverly, the man in motion, ran into the snap.
False start. Snap infraction. Number 53 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So you're saying they should be thankful for the penalty on that.
3rd down.
Ball was rolling free. Fourteenth penalty of the day for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. That's one more than their average, which is 3rd worst in the country. On 3rd down and 13 against a 4-man rush. Anderson throwing behind Justin Billings, who is able to reach back and catch it. But Saeed Lee stops him before he gets to the marker. So it's 4th down and short.
Good job there. Great catch there by Billings. Ball thrown behind him in the only location he can get it. We saw the kicking game from Arkansas Pine-Bluff earlier. 4th and 2. Coach Coleman rolling the dice, going for it.
They're 0 for 5 on 4th down this season. They had a 4th down in inches earlier and couldn't get it. So they empty it out on 4th down and 2. Anderson throws, and it's hauled in for a 1st down by Desmond Beverly. The junior out of Alexandria, Louisiana, has made some big plays for this team, and that's a big one there. DeAndre Rashada, the man injured.
And that was a good job by Beverly of coming back to the football. He didn't let it come to him. He realized the defensive back was close. These 2 steps he takes to get back to the football really helped them secure the 1st down. Coming back to the quarterback, cut the route short, make the catch.
Well, as they look at Rashada, we remind you that there's a new late night show on ESPNU, the perfect nightcap to your. Rashada, a sophomore out of Covington, Georgia, coming off his best game. Really happy with his performance against Grambling. And understand he's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential, just a sophomore.
And this is a defensive unit that's really taken a lot of pride in the effort they had against Grambling. Last week, they held Grambling to 78 yards rushing offense. And of those 78 yards, 30 came on one big play. Grambling can do a lot of things, and they've been able to run the football for years.
A surge from the defensive line makes Dennis Jenkins go backwards. Brandon Roberts shooting the A-gap out of the middle linebacker's spot to stop it.
Well, we talked about how they have to get to a better state and slow down this running game from Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Brandon Roberts starting to shoot the gap. Seems as if they're starting to do some type of run blitzes, realizing that they can't stop the running game with their 4 defensive linemen, so they're starting to crowd the line of scrimmage with Roberts and Wynn Stewart, number 9.
Well, you see Ben Anderson, the quarterback, is split out. And TQ Mims, the backup quarterback, into the game, running behind John Toney. Mims with a solid gain inside the 30 to make it 3rd down and manageable. And Mims, a redshirt junior, to stay in the game here.
Yeah, they're going to keep the Wildcat going. He is the backup quarterback, so you've got to kind of watch what you do. Don't become too aggressive defensively trying to stop the run when you've got a backup that can throw.
And then a timeout taken by Pine-Bluff.
Timeout. Arkansas Pine-Bluff. First call timeout. 30-second timeout.
ESPNU college football. Stunning work of technology. The entirely new Lexus ES. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Going out on ESPN right now.
Ben Anderson back in the game at quarterback. He had split out to wide receiver in a Wildcat set prior to the timeout. On 3rd down and 9. Pressure shown from Alabama State, and then a flag.
As if 3rd and 9 wasn't tough enough to convert.
Ball start. 77 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Let's make it 3rd and 14. You'll see him right here on your right side, right tackle, Mikael Carter. You know the snap count. Just wait till you hear Hut.
15th penalty tonight in the Golden Lions. So 3rd and 14 now. Alabama State with a straight 4-man rush. Anderson pressured, gets rid of it, but it's incomplete. Saeed Lee with good coverage on Aaron Legrone, who came out of the backfield on a wheel. 4th down and 14.
And you think you kick it, but the way they look attempting field goals tonight, you've got to be thinking as a quarterback, if I would have gotten half of that yardage, coach probably would have gone for it on 4th down again.
And they're going to attempt a field goal here from Tyler Strickland, who missed from 40 badly during the first half. This one from 50. Long this season is 38. It's straight. And it is good with plenty of distance for Strickland.
He shanked it from 40, but he nailed it from 50 with room to spare.
So Arkansas Pine-Bluff back in front. Jay, let's take a look at segment number 2 of Walker's Weekend Watch.
Let's call it just a matter of time before Rich Rod is able to start having some shootouts with the Ducks. This year, it's a tall task.
Jarrett Neely with a flag down.
Team number 29, 10-yard, half the distance from the spot of the foul. 1st down, Alabama State.
26 penalty total tonight, 11th one on Alabama State. Reggie Barlow's team on its first possession of the second half took it down the field to tie the game. They erased 3 separate deficits last week to beat Grambling. Greg Jenkins running this offense to begin at the 6. Second in the SWAC, averaging 25 points a game. Corral takes the fake on 1st down, and it's Jenkins up to the 10.
During their last scoring drive, the Hornets were able to convert on 3rd and long in order to keep the drive going. Why did they end up with 3rd and long situations? Lack of a running game on 1st and 2nd down.
Another flag, Jay.
False start. Number 70, offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
And that's a look right there from Coach Barlow. Just head down. Just, guys, what are we doing? You're in a tough football game, conference opponent. You're already backed up, trying to play catch up down by 3. And we're still making penalties.
Now, if one of the teams could cut them out, that could be the difference in this game, but both teams have had the issues.
And you get the feel it's going to be a costly penalty at the end, which is probably going to determine who wins this football game.
Corral throws this, or Jenkins throws the slant, and it's well behind Darren Daniel. But it all starts with a negative play on first down.
And then you compound that with the penalty, and then all of a sudden you're backed up, and the defense gives you more cushion to the outside. And right now, if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, you've got to be thinking on this one, just keep everything in front of us. Come up, wrap, make the tackle, get the ball back in good field position.
3rd down and 12. They twist up front. Jenkins dances in his own end zone and throws to the sideline for Crowell, out of bounds. It's 4th down.
Yeah, great job by Jerian Harris, the linebacker there, spying Crowell, dropping the coverage, keep everything in front of you, come up and wrap, make the tackle. And this is the part where you get it, where you say, things get tough, feed it to that stunt. Let him run that rock. But this Arkansas Pine-Bluff defensive unit's done a really good job being competitive tonight.
Andre Mitchell, true freshman, who is very good in the return game. Bobby Wenzig averaged 51 yards a punt in the first half. And Mitchell let this one bounce.
And that's the freshman mistake there.
52-yard punt, his 3rd of more than 50 yards today. When we come back, we'll take a look behind the steel curtain and its connection to Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Bowling Green, Virginia.
3-point lead for Arkansas Pine-Bluff off the 50-yard field goal. It's a storied history for the Golden Lions, including L.C. Greenwood, who was part of the steel curtain with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Finished his time up at Arkansas Pine-Bluff 1969, 6-time Pro Bowl selection, 4-time Super Bowl champion, part of the 1970s all-decade team. Yet still not in the Hall of Fame.
Kind of surprising, too. Yeah. You know, particularly we talk about today's fashion, how fashion is such a big industry. He was famous for, you don't remember this, you're so young, Joe, but you know what he was famous for? I'll give you one chance. Gold shoes. Gold shoes. He used to wear the gold shoes.
Golden Lions back to work with a speed option play on first down for Justin Billings. Patient run with a good cutback for a gain of 6 to midfield. Brandon Roberts there again on the stop. Well, we've seen a lot of offense tonight, but we've seen a lot of flags as well. How about that? Almost 600 yards of offense, 27 penalties for 257. But it's both teams.
Both teams. I mean, they're just exchanging penalty flags right now. Instead of exchanging scores, they're exchanging penalties.
Billings gets a kick out block and a flag. Gained 11, but it's coming back.
Holding. Number 54, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
Ron McClenny, right tackle, getting in on the penalty party.
Yeah, when you try and run these stretch plays here, this is McKinney here. Let's see where the hold is. It's his job to seal the edge. Yeah, I mean, you get that right there. They're going to see that. You know, you saw 2 flags coming. That's an easy one to call. That's the danger you have in running sweeps and stretch plays to the outside. You're coming right to the view of the official. They call it all the time.
Billings trying to get the corner on 2nd down and spins his way right to where he had gained himself before the penalty on the previous play. It's a 10-yard gain.
This is just a great individual effort by Justin Billings. And we've talked so much about Crowell. Billings is a pretty good running back himself. He's got a little pep in his step. A junior from El Dorado, Arkansas. Solid.
83 yards on 10 carries tonight. It's 3rd and 4. They throw the speed out. That ball kind of floated out there to Desmond Beverly and gave the defense time to close. Leland Baker there for the stop, and it's 4th down.
Coming up short. Several times tonight where we've seen Anderson go to the wide receiver that does not have the depth in order to convert and pick up the first down. This part of the field in this type of football game, you got to put in special teams and hopefully pin Kewan Riley deep on the inside the 10-yard line.
Godwin averaged 43 yards a punt in the first half. This one angled nicely and bouncing out inside the 10. ESPNU's coverage of college football continues Saturday as the Arkansas Razorbacks try to get back on track against the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Rutgers against Arkansas, Saturday 7 Eastern on ESPNU. You can also watch it live on Watch ESPN. But this is an Arkansas program coming into the season you thought might contend for a national championship. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Wilson, Knight Days, and who would have thought that Rutgers at this point in the season would have the better record than Arkansas.
Alabama State back to work. Sorry, Jay.
So Wilson coming back really will help the Hogs.
Malcolm Cyrus thrown for a loss on first down. Brandon Thurman was there for the stop and another negative first down play.
Yeah, and that's Mr. Tackle for loss for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. You talk about the engine that he's got. Number 4 in the nation coming into this game and tackles behind the line of scrimmage. And then just adding on to his total. Very impressive how he's almost single-handedly able to control the side of the field which he lines up on. Right now he's on the left side, top of your screen. Not a lot of success to run the football that direction.
They fake to Corral and get good protection. Taking a shot for Darren Daniel, who couldn't hang on. Second time he's beaten his man in a post, and for the second time they can't connect. David Watson was beaten. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, what a great throw by Greg Jenkins. You know, you almost start to say, can I throw it and catch it all in the same pattern? Look at the pocket there. You see him step up. That should have been a hole right there called on Thurman. He was horse tackled, and then, what happens when you move a guy over to play wide receiver that hasn't been playing it too long? The drop, but he's got to make that catch. Big drop, huge.
Plagued by drops last week against Grambling, overcame them to win. Trying to overcome them again. Greg Jenkins runs it up to the 16, but it all starts with that negative first down play. You're put in a bad spot.
They stop you running on first down, second down, the drop ball, third down, you pick up yardage, but it's not enough. Fourth down, bring on the punt team. That's got to hurt because as a quarterback, I mean, you can't throw it any better than Jenkins did. It's one of those passes that you dream about, hitting the post for the 90-yard touchdown score. Not to be.
Andre Mitchell let one drop the last time that he probably should have caught in return. High punt that gives the coverage team time to get there. And Mitchell with a fair catch at the 45. Well, coming up Saturday on ESPNU, we've got some good ones. Bowling Green against Virginia Tech. Hokies trying to bounce back from their first loss. We talked about Rutgers and Arkansas. How about the game in the middle of the day? East Carolina, North Carolina, 3:30 Eastern on ESPNU.
Carolina, they've got 2 losses, but they've had some gallant efforts. Almost able to have a couple comebacks, just fall a little bit short. But that's one of those teams that they're not an easy victory on the schedule.
Jenkins running back on first down. Cuts it back on the stretch play. Breaks out of the tackle from Brandon Roberts and runs for a first down to the 40. 16-yard gain for the senior from Orlando. Transferred in from Florida A&M and part of this 1-2 punch in the backfield.
Now, is this all Dennis Jenkins or what? Going there, nothing. They've got him, but look at the balance. They swing him around. Keeps his base underneath them, able to accelerate after the missed tackle. First down.
He's replaced by Justin Billings, the other main piece of this rushing attack, but they've had 8 guys carry the ball through 3 quarters in this game. The third quarter clock winding down. You need to run a play. It's Justin Billings hesitating and bursting, and Billings breaks free. He'll go. Touchdown. 39-yard bolt of lightning from Justin Billings for his second touchdown of the day.
Well, when you've got the ability to have a left tackle, you know the cutback lane or the bounce lane is always going to be there. And you're going to see Billings just kind of wait, set it up inside. They seal it on the outside. Couple moves and it becomes a sprint. So Billings seems to be the best running back in the stadium tonight. He's doing a good job setting up his blockers and giving the Lions a larger lead.
And their first 2-score lead of the night. Second touchdown run for Billings. This one from 39 yards. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff trying to get off to a 3-1 start for the second straight year. Watching ESPNU College Football Primetime presented by McDonald's. 24-14, first 2-score lead of the night for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. It was a third quarter that started with Alabama State going the length of the field on their opening drive to tie the game on a touchdown run from Malcolm Cyrus. His first career score. But Arkansas Pine-Bluff responding, a 50-yard field goal from Tyler Strickland to retake the lead. And how about this explosion? Justin Billings goes 39 yards for the score. A career-high 121 yards for him tonight.
Right there, he's telling everybody, shh. With that run, there were a number of Hornet fans that decided they've seen enough. He might have emptied the stadium single-handedly. And take a look at your game summary there. The Golden Lions having the ability to put points on the board in each of the first 3 quarters. Still only up by 10. Fourth quarter is going to be crucial for both teams in their upcoming SWAC campaign.
This one returnable from the 10. And Demario Bowery brings it back to the 26. Well, Alabama State had to come from behind last week. They had a pair of 70-yard plus touchdown drives in the fourth quarter, engineered by Greg Jenkins. That was against Grambling. This is against one of the best defenses in the country in Pine Bluff.
Yeah, coming into this game, it was something's got to give in terms of the high-powered offense from Alabama State, which scores plenty of points, versus the sound defensive unit from Arkansas Pine-Bluff that only gives up 11 points a game. Well, meeting somewhere in the middle means the advantage is going to go to Pine-Bluff, so Alabama State's going to have to do something in a hurry with 15 minutes to go.
They fake the handoff to Corral. Jenkins is smothered. Robert Dorsey's there for his first sack of the season. Brandon Thurman got in on it as well.
And what happens here is the offensive line starts to get tired. Jenkins tries to step up, nowhere to go. Pocket caving in on him with every step he was taking. Dorsey starting to feel it.
Fifth-year senior out of Memphis. Lost 2, 2nd and 12. And a trick play. Here comes Neely. Great job by Xavier Lofton to be disciplined. And they drop him for a loss. Brandon Thurman was also there. This is some impressive defensive football.
It is, and it's hard to run the trick play when your running game is based on sweeps to the left or sweep to the right. So you're going to have somebody there that's going to stay home, and they're going to kind of see it coming in that direction. In that case there were several Golden Line defenders that were there to make the tackle, try to disrupt the exchange. And another tackle for loss behind the line of scrimmage.
Third down and 15. They bring just 4. Jenkins still pressured. And runs past the 30, but will not get a first down. Robert Dorsey again with a stop. And here comes the punt team.
And the only offense it seems that Alabama State has right now seems to be Greg Jenkins. Running the football. Defensive line for Arkansas Pine-Bluff starting to force their will on the offensive line from Alabama State. Slowly but surely seizing command of this football game.
Wenzig with his 7th punt of the day. Andre Mitchell's only been able to return 1. It's for a loss of 3. Another shot here going away inside his own 15. Alabama State's had a good plan on special teams for him. Well, the Golden Lions with a 10-point lead trying to extend that lead in the 4th quarter when we come back. Jay, give me 5.
How about this? Best 5 places to call a HBCU football game, in my opinion. Okay. Southern University, we've been there. How great was the food down there? It's delicious. Anytime I can get gumbo, barbecue, all that stuff, I like it. Number 4, why don't we go to FAMU, the tradition down there, the history of Bob Hayes. Getting to Tallahassee is a little bit tough, but it's really good. They like it down there. JSU, Jackson State, largest lead attendance every year in the FCS football play, the home of Walter Payton. Easy to get to Jackson. I like that. How about Orlando? Not an on-campus facility, but whether it's the MEAC SWAC Challenge or whether it's the Florida Classic, Orlando with all the attractions, great place to call a game, nice food. And number 1, we'll see it. Alabama State will be there. You'll be there, Joe. I'll be there. Birmingham, Alabama. Anytime you're talking about barbecue and all that stuff that goes on there in the Magic City Classic, oh yeah, and on the bubble, you're going to check that out next week. Yeah. We're going to Greensboro. Tough for a Howard guy to acknowledge he likes going into Aggie land, but those fans really care about the Aggie pride.
You got to figure the new ASU Stadium, which will open up on Thanksgiving, may have a spot in those rankings.
I'm fairly certain. I'm fairly certain it will.
All an offense that has run the ball at will during this game, tries to run some clock now. And a minimal 1st down gain for Dennis Jenkins.
And because of where they are on the football field, I understand why you have to run the ball, but you've got to be thinking, if I'm offensive coordinator Eric Dooley right now, I'm aggressive. I'm going for the knockout blow right here. I think if you can get one more score on Alabama State right now, then you can put this football game away.
Play clock winding inside of 10. They're still checking the sideline for the play. They'll get it off. Boy, a high toss for Jenkins to Corral. And cuts back against the pursuit up to the 18-yard line.
You can tell what a difference it is to have a running game and to not have a running game. Even when you've got 2nd and 10, the confidence to know that you're not going to lose any more yardage when you run the football. And most of their big runs have come along that left side, running behind their future NFL player, Teron Armstead, the left tackle.
You see that note there. They've not forced one today.
Something's in jeopardy.
Boy, could they use one. Out of the I formation on 3rd and short, Jenkins with his 2nd effort has a 1st down.
It's a pretty good football team. You know, that's how I kind of measure, you know, offensive units and what they can do. We've seen the defense, but can the offense pick up crucial 1st downs when it's needed to really put pressure on the other team? A good offense is one that has very few 3-and-outs. You may not always score on every drive, but what do you do to get at least 1 1st down so your defense can take a rest? And they struggle in obvious short yard situations, but they're so balanced. They have plenty of offensive flexibility.
Drain that play clock all the way down, wait to the final moment, and toss it to Jenkins. Jeremy Edmonds couldn't get a block. And Alabama State swarmed into the football to make it 2nd and 10.
And Alabama State realizes what's taking place, so they're taking their strong safety, DeAndre Rashada, placing him right on the line of scrimmage, getting him involved, making an 8-man box. And even with 8 people close to the line of scrimmage on the sweep, Arkansas Pine-Bluff still able to get back to the line of scrimmage and gain a yard. You got to be careful. Watch the play action pass. They haven't shown it tonight. But if they do, pretty sure Alabama State's going to bite hook, line, and sinker.
We talk about this deep running back core. Now they bring in John Toney, who's only touched it twice today. Work out of the pistol. On a counter play. Nothing doing. Akeem Moore was there to make the tackle, his first of the day. And a third down where Alabama State's got to get a stop.
When they've had these situations, it's been those 15-yard curl, flat combinations, sneaking the running back out of the backfield. Be careful where Kewan Riley is on the field right now.
Hornets desperately need a stop. Two high safeties for Alabama State on 3rd down and 13. They go underneath. And that one's thrown to the toes of Thomas Winters. 4th down.
Good job by the defense of Alabama State. Ensuring that the offense or special teams will have a chance to get the football back. And with less than 9 minutes to go, defense did their job. Kewan Riley's going to go back. They're All-American free safety, and maybe they can set up a nice punt return here. But they've got to get this offense moving.
That one takes a good bounce for the Golden Lions. All the way down inside the 40. 44-yard punt. Alabama State down 2 scores. Needs to get to work in a hurry.
So, where are you living now, Will?
Where am I living? The only place.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Polaris. See the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicle now at your local dealer. 4th quarter here at the Crampton Bowl. Montgomery, Alabama. The homestanding Hornets trying to erase a 10-point deficit. From the 37, Jenkins throws complete to Landon Jones on a curl pattern to midfield.
10 minutes ago here, you take a look at Monty Coleman and talk about the job he's done and being around. And he's just a guy that just reminds you of a football player. And what are great football players going to be? Great football coaches. He's got this team playing great defense. And I think what he's done at Arkansas Pine-Bluff, not an easy place to win at Pine-Bluff, but he's done a good job being competitive.
Ineligible receiver, number 11 down the field. Number 11 was covered up by the wideout. 5-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
Flip side, you got Reggie Barlow. You got all the matchups. You got offensive player, defensive player coach there. And both these coaches have their programs going in the right direction. Right now, it's Coleman's boys from Pine Bluff coming down here and thus far getting the better end of the Hornets here at Alabama State.
Slant thrown behind Jones. And it'll be 2nd and 15. Let's take a look. We mentioned early on our impact players in today's game, and Armstead hasn't given up any sacks.
He's been special.
Yeah.
Thurman's been special. Crowell, same things. They've had limited touches there they've got for him.
Here's Corella in space.
And Lee, he also had 8 tackles tonight. A couple costly penalties for them, but the impact players have showed up during prime time. It's just unfortunately for both teams, so have the penalty flags as well.
3rd down and 10. This is probably 4-down territory at this point. Or is it too early?
If it's a makeable 4th down. In the 4th and 10 right now, you don't do it. You got to play the game. You got your timeouts.
Corners bail off with the snap. Jenkins flagged down to the holding. He's wasting his breath here. Has a wide open man and overshoots him. Diving play. Incomplete. What an effort right there by Jarvis Webb. But the back judge saying it was dropped.
Here's the end of it. You're going to see Webb come in and try and Superman intercept this ball with one, but yeah, officials all on it. Hit the ground when he was coming down, but good job.
6-7 offense. The penalty will be declined. Brings up 4th down.
And because, like you said, they didn't pick anything up, here comes the punt team. Reggie Barlow's team 17-9 over the last 2+ seasons. Facing an Arkansas Pine-Bluff team here. It's made it tough to do much offensively today. Andre Mitchell lets it bounce. Another very good punt from Bobby Wednesday. Matt Sick will have an update from the studio when we come back.
Bowling Green, Virginia Tech at noon, then East Carolina, North Carolina, Saturday on ESPNU.
Next gear.
All right, Matt. Here in Montgomery, Alabama, 24-14. Arkansas Pine-Bluff in front. Trying to run that clock even lower. Alabama State 6 men at the line of scrimmage on 1st down, and Daniel Jenkins finds some space. Juwan Riley finally wrestles him down close to the 1st down marker, and that's been part of the story tonight. Ability to run the football for this Pine Bluff team.
On 1st down, and anytime you've got your free safety having to come up and make a tackle 10 yards down the field, when they were in a run prevent defense, just let you know the trouble that Monty Coleman's offensive unit has done here at Montgomery tonight, really keeping this Hornet defense off balance, and when they had to run the football, being able to run the football.
Jenkins again. This time he's bottled out, tries to cut back, but can't. There's a flag down, and that is the 30th tonight. DeAndre Rashada made the tackle. Loss of 4.
And if this is a holding, you got to think they're going to turn this down because you'd only get half the distance between the goal.
Holding. Number 89 on the offense. Penalty will be declined. 3rd down. Correction. 2nd down.
Monty Coleman upset that the clock apparently didn't run on that play. What a job he's done with this program. Increasing their win total each season. Won 2 SWAC games in 2008, 3 in 09, 4 in 2010, 5 last year. Their sights set on the SWAC championship game this year.
They've got a good opportunity. Talk about the SWAC Western Division. We talked about it in our SWAC storyline. Louisiana's down. The Texas schools are beating up on each other with Prairie View and Texas Southern. And then you got Arkansas. Right now they control their own destiny. They're at 1-1. There's no undefeated teams in the SWAC Western Division.
Well, they just overcompensated and let the clock run. And Alabama State now upset. Arkansas Pine-Bluff hasn't been to the SWAC championship since 2006.
Please set the game clock to 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Thank you.
When they lost to Alabama A&M, they've not won a SWAC title since they shared it a 4-way tie back in 1966. Now, they weren't in the SWAC from 1970 through 1997, but still, just one title.
Just one, and they got there with Mo Forte, made a SWAC championship appearance. And, you know, that's tough. And, you know, some people just say they got a tough draw. Being in that side of the conference where you've got Grambling and Southern, along with Texas Southern. I mean, the Western Division of the SWAC has won the most SWAC championships. They just, they've got to get there.
More than 250 rushing yards tonight for the Golden Lions. They add some with Justin Billings, who has more than 100 yards, career high for him. And here are the SWAC standings as they stand right now. You mentioned nobody undefeated down there in the West Division. The East, though, Alabama State about to suffer its first loss.
Yeah, and you see, Alabama power. Well, that statistic may be off a little bit. A&M is on the rise. Jackson State still undefeated. A little disappointing with the 1-2 start. One of the losses was to Mississippi State. But at the same time, you look at the West, Texas Southern, great opening victory versus Prairie View. And then they went down to Jackson State. So this is all going to play out, be interesting. And it seemed like Pine-Bluff. You've got Alabama State out the way. Alabama A&M has already given them the loss on the year. They get hot. Could very well see them in Birmingham for the SWAC Championship.
Well, that's not a good sign. Justin Billings injured for Pine-Bluff. Trying to run off under his own power, then thought better of it. Clock continues to run. Pine-Bluff with a 10-point lead and the football. 3rd down and 8 from the 22. And a short roll for Anderson. Spins off of initial contact and falls forward. Jimmy Daniels gets credit for the sack, and it's 4th down, but the clock winded inside of 6 minutes, and Alabama State needs 2 scores.
And I think more importantly on that drive was, the fact that Arkansas Pine-Bluff ran 7 plays. They didn't get 3 and out, picked up 1 first down, then didn't get it. Now they'll kick it away. 3 minutes off the clock.
Line drive kick with a big bounce that will keep Kewan Riley away from it. On the synthetic surface, a very good roll for Aaron Godwin. 52-yard punt in the second half of field position. All college football season underway. Don't miss our full lineup to get you ready for all the action this Saturday. Chris Fowler and the boys at 9 get it started with College Game Day built by the Home Depot. At 10, a special college football edition of Sports Nation. Then at 11, college football whip around. College football Saturday started at 9 on ESPNU. Justin Billings, who's done his job tonight, couple of touchdown runs and a career high in rushing yards.
And I like that. When the lights come on, prime time, camera, Joe Davis is in the building.
That's not the main
Bring
thing.
your best game.
Here. Jenkins stays on his feet. Good effort to get to the 36. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5. Bill Ross is there for the stop. 10th tackle of the night for Ross.
Very active from that inside linebacker position.
Jenkins on the curl to Jones, who hung on with the defense coming from Jamel Maxwell. And the clock stops to move the chains.
Last week versus Grambling, Jenkins led 2 drives when they were behind in the 4th quarter to help the Hornets get the victory. Does he have any more magic left this week?
On the speed out, here's T.C. McWilliams, one of the top 10 receivers in school history, with just his 2nd catch of the night. Jerian Harris with a tackle. And there were times early on where they had this tempo, but midway through the game, you didn't see much of this speed from the offense. Jenkins chased from behind, dumped it off just in time to Malcolm Cyrus. 1st down inside the 40.
And this is where you have to think Crowell not being with the program for so long may be a reason he's not in the game, because you would love to sneak him in there. Teams thinking pass, 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 give him a draw or a running back screen, and he's the home run hitter.
From the 39, Jenkins taking a shot, but no chance. Cornelius Fenderson defended well by David Watson. Now, the defensive line has been a big part of the story for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Yeah, pressure, all led by Brandon Thurman. He was our impact player coming in, got some help. They've just been able to force Jenkins out of the pocket all night long, and whenever Alabama State continued to try to run the football, the D-line had the answer. Consistent pressure by the front 4 of the Golden Lions.
3 sacks for them tonight. Flag down. Another flag down. 2 separate penalties on this play.
Thank you.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside, number 90 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 28 on the defense. That penalty will be accepted. Automatic first down.
So it's actually a free play, and it seemed that Jenkins knew that, just even it up. Ball spotted at the 24 now. Can Greg Jenkins do it again? Took him on a pair of 70-yard fourth-quarter touchdown drives to beat Grambling from behind last week. Now facing one of the top defenses in the country. Down 10, 4 minutes left.
Now getting the ball here was fairly easy, but now you're going to see Arkansas Pine-Bluff's going to tighten up that defense, and they're going to bring some pressure trying to get to them. 2-minute offense getting it started, they'll give you everything up front. You get a little bit close to the red zone, they're going to change up some things on it.
They back off here. And rush just 4. Jenkins has some room to run. Excellent open field tackle by Xavier Lofton. He didn't make that tackle. Jenkins could have gone.
Jenkins is one of those guys, you watch him run time and time again. He can move the crowd, keeps you on the edge of your seat, wondering how many tackles can he break. That was a run. You got to hurry up and get these plays called.
Clock still winding. They've got all 3 timeouts. Won't use one here. On 2nd and 3. Jenkins throws the corner out. It's caught. And diving into the end zone for a touchdown is Justin Robinson. The seldom used tight end with his first touchdown of the season. This one from 17. Alabama State still with a chance.
Well, good job on the fake. Wanted to go to his left. Nothing there. Came back right. And found Robinson in stride. Able to lean forward to get the score. Won't give up on the Hornets just yet.
And again, all 3 timeouts remaining with 3:19 to go. Bobby Wenzik back-to-back SWAC Special Teams Performer of the Week awards. Cuts it to 3. Now, Greg Jenkins led 2 fourth-quarter drives to beat Grambling last week. 1 down. They're down 3. Greg Jenkins to Justin Robinson for a touchdown, and Alabama State is within 3.
They're closer. Let's take a look at how Robinson was able to get open. Take a look here. This is Bill Ross. He's been playing great defense all night, but what you're going to see him do, he's going to peek in the backfield at this play action pass, allowing Robinson to come right across his face and score for the easy touchdown. That's one play right there. Got him, leverage, beat him on the inside move, slipped across the formation. When you're playing man-to-man coverage, puts a lot of pressure on your run-stopping middle linebacker to look into the backfield as well as cover the tight end.
And lucky for Lenzig, that barely stays in bounds. 3:18 left to go, and Alabama State needs a stop. The issue has been stopping the running game for Arkansas Pine-Bluff tonight.
And they're going to see a heavy dose of it right now. You know, this is the money time, as you call it. Less than 4 minutes to go. Some people, Coach Herman Edwards likes to call it hammer time. My coach, Bill Parcells, used to call it championship time, the 4-minute offense. You've got the lead. You get 2 first downs, you win the football game. Arkansas Pine-Bluff has had the ability to run versus the 8-man front from Alabama State at times. But now when it's all on the line, can they get the job done?
Now go at Dennis Jenkins. Justin Billings banged up from the previous possession. Crowd getting into it here at the Crampton Bowl. Zone read playing Anderson with a pull read. Will take it and crumble down after a gain of 3. Boy, it looked like he had some more space. It closed quickly when he went down.
It seemed like it had that appearance. And in this case here, when you're Anderson, you know, you want to take that dive forward, get every yard you can get. Don't leave any yards on the table. Seemed to me as if he settled for a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7.
You take your time, man. You got to be thinking they're not even going to come close to snapping the ball right now. Just trying to see what they can get. Draw them off side with 16 seconds on the play clock. They just snap this ball with about 2 seconds left on it.
Jenkins fumbled the ball, but on top of it is Ryan Savage, the senior left guard. And it's 3rd down and long. Timeout taken by Reggie Barlow. Mickey Jackson was in the backfield to break up that play.
Well, they've had success running the football to the left, so they're just going to shoot the gap to the left. How do you leave 97 unblocked there to take a big hit on your running back? Right on the exchange. Very fortunate to get that ball back.
So 3rd down and long coming up. While we got a second, we want to wish our wonderful producer back in the truck, Todd Poulos, a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, TK. Be looking for you for the post game.
Speaking of the post game, the Lexus HBCU post game report. BYU invading the blue turf of Boise State. Billy Gillespie resigning as head coach at Texas Tech, and then we'll look ahead to the Clemson-Florida State showdown this weekend. We'll drop back here as well to report on the finish of this one, which is turning into a good one. It's 3rd and 13, and Ben Anderson might be forced to put this one into the air. Four-man pressure. They throw the screen to Eckwood. He won't get away. Marcus Berg there to make this stop, and Alabama State's done it. They'll get the ball back to the offense with 2+.
Great job. They continue to control the battle of field position in the 4th quarter. With Arkansas Pine-Bluff holding on to a 10-point lead, special teams for Alabama State kept pinning the Golden Lions back inside their own 15-yard line, and now it seems as if they're going to get one more chance to have another 4th quarter comeback in consecutive weeks.
Greg Jenkins, senior quarterback, led a pair of 70+ yard touchdown drives against Grambling to win that game last week. And they trailed this game 24-14, and just about everybody besides the band left at that point. And Jenkins and the Hornets trying to make him pay for it.
And a field goal will tie it. So you definitely want to hold on to the football and protect it. Field goal ties it, touchdown wins it. Once you've done it once, your team kind of has a feeling you can do it again. And if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff, I say be careful on the punt return. Kewan Riley's a very dangerous punt returner.
Nice spiraling kick from Godwin. Riley with a fair catch at the 29. Well, Bobby Wenzig, the kicker for Alabama State's got an NFL leg. In practice last week, prior to the Grambling game, he made from 60. The career long for Wenzig in a game is 47.
A big difference. 60 in practice, wind might have been blowing. Here, ideal conditions to kick a long field goal.
Can Jenkins do it again? They went 70 yards for the winning score last week. They need to go 70 yards for the lead tonight. 5-man pressure underneath T.C. McWilliams. First down to the 45 and a gain of 15. Robert Dorsey, the defensive lineman, came back to make the stop.
And they've also got that time out there. Good job by Jenkins standing in the pocket. Williams didn't catch it cleanly, but he managed to hold on.
Clock lines inside at 2. Jenkins has an open man. It's McWilliams again. Quiet through 3 quarters. He's got his 3rd catch of the 4th. This one for 17 into Pine Bluff territory.
Jenkins again standing tall in the pocket. Great throw to the outside. Seeing McWilliams uncovered along the sideline for Alabama State.
Pressure comes and a quarterback draw. Perfect call for the defense. It's 8 yards to the 30. Only 20 seconds have run off of the clock on this drive. They've still got 1 timeout and just need a field goal to tie. Right now they're within Bobby Wenzig's range. They dump it off for Cyrus. who can't get out of bounds, and in fact didn't even try to get out of bounds, with Jamel Maxwell making the tackle.
But that's okay, because they've got time. You know, right now you figure, hey, if he got a first down, the clock will stop that way. And even if he didn't, hey, the clock ticking a little bit, what you don't want to do, and so many times we've seen teams score too quickly.
Alabama State getting the offense when they need it most. First down from the 27. He looks to the wide side of the field on the wheel pattern. Overshot McWilliams, who's once again become his favorite target.
And if I were Alabama State right now on offense, you got it going, but I would slide that protection to the right side. Get some help over there on Brandon Thurman. He's come close a couple times to slipping a block and making a big tackle for a loss. What you can't afford right now is a sack. So when that break huddle, I know where Brandon Thurman is right now, their playmaker. He's catching his wind on the long incompletion. See if they give him some help.
Isaiah Corral comes into the game. A screenplay, and McWilliams had to go off his hands. 3rd down and 10. And you got to wonder now, Jay, do you think about getting a few yards to set up a field goal, or do you go for the sticks?
Yeah, I would just I'll probably run the ball to the left so you can set it up to your left. Getting the first down is great, but if you don't get it on 3rd down, you probably are forced to kick the field goal on 4th down.
6-man box for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. They throw against it. Overthrown, and it's 4th down.
Wow.
And Landon Jones open for what would have been a first down. And now the weight of the world onto the shoulders of Bobby Wenzig.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, they didn't pick up any more yardage. You've got him there. Landon Jones is there. That's the lane. Ball just takes off immediately the moment it leaves the hand of Jenkins.
This will be a 44-yarder for Wenzig, whose career long is from 47. Out of the hold of Demetric Price. This for the tie. Not even close. In Arkansas, Pine-Bluff 56 seconds away from holding on.
First and 10. You got to pick up a couple more yards. They just fell flat 3 straight plays, and the kick not even close, as you called it. Pushed it right. Career long of 45 yards. This is inside of his range.
He's been everything for this team on special teams. Back-to-back weeks as the SWAC's Special Teams Player of the Week. And right now, the difference in this game, when you look at the score, Wenzig misses from 44. Strickland made from 50.
Yep. Going to the same direction. What a job by Monty Coleman. Coming in here on the road. A couple seconds away from a hard-fought victory in spite of all the penalties that his team had.
Reggie Barlow, Alabama State, earns their final timeout with 51 seconds to go.
Timeout, Alabama State. 3rd and final timeout in regulation. 30-second timeout.
You see Jenkins there. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, he did his job. Moved his team into field goal range. Throw got away from him on 3rd down, which I'm sure he's thinking about. He wishes he could have back. But you kind of expect your kicker to make that 42-yarder. And you got to be thinking, hey, should they have run the ball a couple times when they had the ball?
Wenzig missed the 44-yarder. Tyler Strickland drilled a career-high 50-yarder to plenty of room.
And then his counterpart from the Hornets could not convert, and that right there is going to lead to the first conference loss for Alabama State this season.
depending on when they spot this ball and start the play clock. And they will not have to snap it again. 6-second differential in the game in the play clock. So Arkansas Pine-Bluff can let it run. That's what Lonnie Coleman's telling his team. We don't have to snap it. And they won't. What a job by the Golden Lions. Coming to the Crampton Bowl and holding on for a 24-21 win for the second straight year. The Golden Lions start off 3-1. Their sights set on getting to Birmingham for the SWAC Championship this time around. For Jay Walker and for the rest of our crew, my name's Joe Davis. Sports Center U is coming up next. Good night from Montgomery, Alabama.